Hello, and welcome to the Beaker Show. Start off with our obligatory camera fix. Well, welcome back. I hope everybody is having a wonderful Saturday. We are jumping in today with session number 65. We have made it out of the dungeons of Aralani, and we are now reclaiming the city and looking at wrapping up one storyline and figuring out where we're headed next. So we're going to bring the players in, kind of get things rolling, and see where we're headed today. So sit back, relax, enjoy the story, and let's have some fun. All right, so bringing you all back into the fold here. Our last session together, we saw our adventurers completing some preparations in the dungeons of Aralani, gathering up all of the straggling civilians, making a place for the evening. You guys had set up Banks Mansion and had adequately made enough rooms for all of the survivors in the dungeons to rest well for the evening. You had some soul-seeking and some role-playing between characters that occurred, talking about events that happened, events that were to come, changes in your life, and just general kind of touching in, see what was going on with your life and your world, and getting a well-needed, well-deserved long rest after a very long day, which IRL was about 4 months, or close to. But yes, finally let sleep embrace you as you all recovered, had a full night's rest, and were awoken the next morning by some of the Aralanians, letting you know that the attack on the city above had started. A scout had made their way into the dungeons and communicated as such to you all. So being a little cautious, you asked the survivors to kind of maintain their positions here as you guys decided to ascend the steps to head back up to the city, quickly realizing that this was going to be a very long journey with a lot of steps. You allowed Lalia to use her prayer beads to turn you all into mist, and you jettisoned yourselves up the stairs at immense speed, finding yourselves walking through an illusionary wall at the back of a marble staircase within the palace grounds in the kingdom of Aralani. You rematerialized yourselves and began to seek the exit, which you could hear the sounds of something going on outside. You could hear shouts and muffled noises. Instead of taking and checking out the one closed door in the room you were in, you all decided to venture the long way and eventually jump out a window in order to exit the castle.
Nothing.
So you then decided to head towards the docks, where you alighted on one of the docks in the area and were quickly flagged down by a Neverwinter soldier. Looked like some sort of commanding officer who spoke with you. You guys identified yourselves, and he seemed to at least recognize your intent and why you were there, and that you weren't orcs or goblins or anything of the like, and allowed you to go on your way. The information that you gathered is that the Neverwinter forces were very successful in eradicating what remained of the orcs in the city. It seems like once Gorgo had fallen, or once Lord Cryo had left, something transpired that many of the orcs that were present in the town and occupying this area had begun to flee and head away from the city already. So there was a reduced amount for them to actually take care of up here, but that they had gathered all of the remaining orcs, slaughtered them, threw them in piles to burn, and they were just going house to house at this point, making sure that the area was as clear as it could be, and were slowly making their way towards the castle. He advised that there would probably be a meeting on the castle grounds once this had completed, and that it was probably going to take a couple of hours, but that you guys were welcome to join in seeking out or going door to door. Or he told you that many of the shops and businesses were still open. They were forced to be open for the orcs, and they are now serving and assisting with the soldiers and the Neverwinter forces that are here as well. And just kind of left you at that. I left you guys standing at the docks, looking around this now smelly but cleansed city. And I will send it back to you guys. I did finish the map, so you're free to explore it as much as you want.
Wow, where'd all these houses come from?
I will give you the overview now, as there were blank sections. Aiden, you would have this kind of ingrained in your memory, kind of the layout and the way that this city works. So if you wish to keep that secret, you can. Otherwise, all of you are privy to this information at this point. But you know that the city is kind of blocked off. It's kind of sectioned out by walls. The section that you guys are in is kind of the commerce, the port area. There's a lot of businesses, markets, things like that that would be set up throughout the year. There are shipyards, building yards, import-export type buildings, inns, taverns, shops. There are some housing around here for some of these merchants and things of that nature. But everything is pretty packed tight together in this first section of the city. The middle section of the city is the Aralani Castle. This would be where the king and queen and any family members of the royal line live. There are also wings to this where some of the nobles have housing, or small inner estates should they wish, kind of like condos. You would recognize then that off to the side was a smaller section that was kind of for the lower to middle class people that could afford homes were usually housed here. The streets are a little better cobbled together than in the business district, because the business district is very often replaced and walked upon. So things here are a little more spread out, but you can also get the feel that this is mostly living arrangements and things of that nature. The back area, very similar feel, and again, more residential. This is probably more of the middle class type arrangement. There's some privacy back here. It's the farthest away from the port area, though it's also kind of, behind the castle, so it's not the greatest, but it's not the worst. And then the final section of the city, which is the largest cordoned off area with the least housing and the most space between houses. This is kind of the upper residential area. This is where the nobles that didn't have accommodations in the castle would live. There are smaller houses here that would be for their servants, or the people that worked in their estates would live there so that they were close to their employer. The area here is much more spread out. There are fountains, there are nice viewing areas, things of that nature. Just kind of, again, the upper echelon type area. A little harder to get into. There's only one real entrance from the port area. Otherwise you have to either come from the castle. There's an entrance to this area from the castle, or you would have to be on the guard wall to make your way into this area as well. So a little more privacy, a little better area, more spacious accommodations and grounds. But that is the 5 main areas of the city. But again, you guys find yourselves on the docks. And I will just kind of open it up to you guys here. What would you like to do?
I say we do a little scouting obviously you're aware that most of the Orcus forces have gone about their way since they've gotten what they came for. This is more or less just to more or less root out any last ditch efforts at retaliation.
Mhm.
So I would be going back into mist form.
Okay. So you're gonna mist up and putt around the city for a little while.
Oh, there he goes again.
Yeah.
I'm home!
Yeah.
Whee!
Do you need me to make any sort of checks?
I'll get to that, and we'll see what everybody else is planning, and then we'll run through.
So, the needle that I stuck into
Oh my god.
Yeah.
it doesn't require attunement, right?
Correct.
Did wings immediately pop out of Zydan, or
No.
nothing happened?
You still have to choose to utilize it.
We'll say Lalia tucks it into her pocket for later.
Yeah.
Does a little 1 point of lay on hands to Zydan. Stop screaming, it's not that bad. Goodness gracious.
Oh. That'd be pretty funny though. Like a magic mallet.
Right. Good grief.
Some wings.
Get back here right now. Even my mallet can fly. How does this feel?
10 minutes pass and he drops through the. Probably takes out somebody's roof.
Right. Oops. You're cleaning that up yourself.
I guess the guy we were talking to, as he walked away, is he still... Are we still in conversation with him?
No, he's walked back. He's talking to some other soldiers. He's not far, but he's no longer engaged with you.
Mm. And from what I remember, none of the foot soldiers know anything about the artifact that we were trying to get.
As far as you know.
And the King of Neverwinter has not radioed in.
Nope.
Where's Jester when you need her?
Right. Well, I'm gonna go ask the foot soldier or whatever where the king is. Gotta hunt him down.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing. I don't know what the other two are doing.
Okay. So I'll give you yours real quick so we can get Zan on his way. You ask the soldier about it, and he just kind of looks you over and says, he's in the city somewhere.
Oh, real hands-on guy. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, do you lead a battalion or something?
Yes.
And yet, when we're trying to find somebody important, somebody who you serve, and you don't know where they're at?
You don't understand how our king works, do you?
No.
If I knew where he was, the enemy could get that information from me. Our king joins the battle as one of us. If I knew where he was, he would be in more danger.
Okay. So, from what you're telling me is nobody knows where he is then?
I'm sure the people fighting next to him know he's there. But I don't know. You asked if I knew.
Great.
You didn't ask if I could find out.
Be able to find him.
Well, I'm sure I could. About as well as you guys. I tell you what, look for dead bodies. You'll probably find the king. He's good at making those.
Yeah, so is everybody else.
Oh, not as good as the king. And he turns and just keeps talking to his soldiers.
Well, I'm off, and I will spread my wings and take off.
Cool. Zan's looking for the king. Bink, Lalia?
I have a two-pronged desire.
Mhm.
The first is to join with the soldiers who are checking on families and homes, offering healing and muscle with whatever they might need for that kind of thing.
Mhm.
And I'm also on the hunt for a spare map of the Sword Coast.
Okay. Are you just looking for a map? Or are you
I'm asking. I'm asking the soldiers. If
Okay, it
anybody
takes
has
like
it.
2 seconds and the
Okay.
soldier just hands you one. He's like, here, we have thousands.
Thank you so much. All right, and then I will continue helping.
What about Bink? What would he be working on?
He's gonna give hope and joy to the people by playing a little song.
Okay.
And
Ooh, nice.
hopefully, just maybe get some money from them.
Alright, go ahead and toss a performance check out for me. It's
I
not
know
hard to find
things have
somewhere.
been hard for the last 3 years, but help the bard out.
27.
Nice.
Alright. You make a handful of gold. Let's say probably most of it comes in like copper and silver pieces. So probably like a total of like 40 gold. But
And I toss in a song of rest for those who need it, for the heck of it.
yeah, absolutely.
That's cool.
Cool.
We walk by and everyone watching Bink is asleep.
Yeah.
They're
Just
all
like
taking a nap.
anyone walking by that hears the sound, they just like knock out and just like sleep in the middle of the street. They wake up. It was the best sleep of my life. But I feel pretty crappy at the same time because I slept on the floor.
Right?
Exactly. Alright, so let's jump back up to the top here. So Aiden has misted and is roaming the city. Go ahead and make either a perception or investigation check for me.
Oh boy.
Oh, sorry. If you would, I have a spare greater restoration that I totally meant to bring up at the beginning of session. If you would like to get rid of the -3 to one of those, or any stat there, Aiden.
Ooh.
There would have been time to talk about it, I'm sure. For Lolly to be like, I got that spell back. Do you feel like thinking? Do you feel like running fast?
Want to be a fast boy?
We're gonna use that on con.
Okay. So any con related check, you no longer have a minus.
Yep.
And down for wisdom. Where's that? Why did you give me a cockeyed? Okay. Well, this is like last week. Oh fuck. Freaking cockeyed natural 20 gives me an 8 instead. Alright.
The worst.
So with your -3, that'll give you a total of 13 on your perception check. So as you are floating around the city, you're not catching much. You see a lot of soldiers leaving houses, talking to civilians. You see maybe a handful of orc bodies that have been put into a new pile that hasn't been burned yet. So you imagine these were some of the stragglers. You don't catch wind of any combat. You don't see anybody actively fighting orcs in any of the streets yet. You make your way around most of the major districts, and kind of the same story. Looks like Nothing jumping out at you at the moment as immediate danger or needing taken care of. Is there anything else you would have been looking for?
Yeah, I would have been looking for home.
Okay. So your
Uh,
particular house?
mm-hmm.
Well, it just so happens that I chose one for you.
Aww.
Hey.
As your father had been part of the military and had made a little bit of name for themselves. Your family would have had a house in the 3rd district, which is behind the castle.
Ooh.
They weren't rich by any means, but your home is this one. It is the largest of the thatched houses down in this area. A little tucked away beside some other estates, but you know, you had a little land, you had a little area where you could farm and things of that nature. It's right here.
Aww.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought you were talking about that bigger house next to it for a second there. I'm like, that doesn't look like a thatch house. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a thatch house. Yeah.
But if Aiden would like to make his way inside, he certainly can.
He's gonna make sure it's not newly occupied because it's been a couple of years.
Yep. I have not filled it, as you can obviously see. But about the only thing you find in here is a wood floor. Looks like everything else is in shambles. You know, it'd been a few years. It doesn't look like maybe some orcs slept in here at a time, but it doesn't look like it has any current residents. And you've gathered that there's quite a few empty houses these days. I'm trying to find the wooden floor so I can at least give you a floor to stand on. Yeah.
Just thinking about how that initial floor would have been Lalia's worst nightmare.
Right.
It goes up and down in the middle of the room. Who would do this?
Boop. You are home. So it's a pretty
And-
decent sized house. It's at least close in size to the one that you guys own.
It's awfully dusty in here, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yep. Perfect time for some heavily deep spring cleaning.
You got it.
Maybe get some furniture in here, make this place home like it once was.
Cool. You set to work on that. And if you'd like, at some point we could get together and we could decorate your house if you wanted to. It theoretically has 2 floors. I just hadn't inserted the 2nd floor yet.
Yeah, I'd definitely like that place to be decorated.
You got it. So we'll leave you to that for a little while. I'm going to jump to Zan real quick. You're looking for the king. Make a perception or investigation check.
Damn dice.
Okay.
I am going to roll that d12.
Okay.
What's that? 21?
Yeah. Okay. It takes you a little bit, probably 20, 30 minutes or so. You either ask some guards or you at least listen into some conversations, and you do eventually find your way towards kind of the area where the orc bodies had been gathered. And as you arrive, one of the guards kind of points out another gentleman who, at the time, as he points to him, you see this taller, older looking gentleman. He is garbed in just general gear. Just kind of looks like another one of the soldiers. Though he has his helmet off, and you can very clearly see the salt and pepper hair of the king of Neverwinter as he is dragging the body of a large dead orc behind him and throws it on the pile of unburnt orcs. Well, that's another one.
Sure is. And I will land right next to him.
Oh, I know you. So tell me, how did your explorations underneath go? Have you made it?
Well, my whole party is alive. That's
good.
the good news. Is this place safe to talk?
As safe as anywhere else.
Okay.
I mean, if you have some important information, we can certainly step aside if you'd like.
Yeah, that's probably a better idea.
Says, all right, and he points to a small house. That one's empty.
All right. Lead the way.
Cool. And I'll show you on the screen. It's not the house you're actually going into, but there are a bunch of these like tiny, what look to be like servant quarter type houses. And as you enter, it's about this.
All right.
He steps in and closes the door. He says, well, this is about as private as we're going to get. It's pretty loud out there anyways, so what news do you bring?
Give me a minute. I'm gonna cast Detect Magic.
Mm-hmm.
Anything within 30 feet setting it off?
Just about everything he's wearing. A couple items outside.
Okay.
They all seem to be enchantment or based on the items, things of that nature.
Okay. No, no illusion or transfiguration or anything like that.
You do see illusion magic on his armor. Specifically his armor, not his being.
Okay.
But that's about it.
All right. So, yes, we did make it to the underground. We killed the general of the orcs. However, Cryo got away with the artifact.
Well, I suppose you won the most important battle. Was getting that blasted orc out of here, but it's unfortunate to hear about the artifact. That's rather concerning. We know that it's very powerful. We don't understand its use at the moment. Maybe your group does. You seemed a little more entwined with it. Tell me, should we be worried immediately?
No, not immediately. But if you were ever interested in setting a trap for him down the line, I am currently a person he is hunting.
Well, I don't, I'm not particularly fond of using live bait, but should you and your party wish to do so, I won't stop you. We'll help as much as we can, I guess. We don't have a lot to spare at the moment. It's going to take quite a while to get this city back up and running. But if there's any way we can help, you're welcome to ask.
All right. There's other stuff I want to ask too, but I don't know how.
Eh.
It's all right. He's just patiently listening. He says, "Well, I wish you and your group the best on whatever adventures come your way next. Like I said, let me know about Cryo. I don't have any plans to try and track him down right now. We have a lot to do to make sure we get this city back up and running. Probably take a few months, I'd imagine."
Knowing what I know about Neverwinter and things rumored in Shadow, is there any sort of check that I could make to see if this guy is a thrall?
So you want to see if he is under the influence of the Sovereign?
Yeah.
I would say what you guys have come to realize, and the way that it has worked so far, that your characters are aware of, is that it is mental. Because you did help Bink's father, realizing that it was a charm effect or something that was grasping his actual mind. It's not a magic that is necessarily detectable with detect magic. You would have to be able to see into their mind, or you could utilize conversation, I'd say, to try and maybe do an insight check. But you would have to at least be talking about a subject that would lead him to maybe accidentally disclose that type of information. I would say you're not really sure how to identify mind control magic, but you do know what it is.
So I'm curious about something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to try this, and it may not work, but what the hell? I'm going to touch him and cast protection from good and evil.
Okay. As you do so, you see a little aura kind of appear, and he just kind of looks at your hands like, "Oh, well, thank you. That was maybe nice and warm and tingly." No discernible difference, though you're certain he's not affected by good or evil.
Okay. Sorry, I'm suspicious of you.
Well, as you should be. Very hard to trust anybody these days.
Yeah.
So,
Considering they were ready for us when we actually came for the artifact.
well, I can't be surprised by that. Unfortunately, there are some things you must recognize in war, and, well, if we have informants, well, they certainly do as well.
It was good to see you again alive.
Oh, certainly. Anything else I can answer for you?
Not currently. If I wanted to get in touch with you again, would there be an easy way to do that?
Well, if you have messaging magics, or you can always stop by the palace. Neverwinter. I'd imagine I'll probably be back there within the week or so. If not, you could leave a message with any of the couriers there. They have sending magics.
And you can vouch for them as to being trustworthy?
Oh, certainly.
Okay. Well, I think my job is done here. I'm gonna go get back to the rest of the party.
All right. Well done again, and good luck in the future. As you step out, make a perception check for me.
Okay. That's better. 19.
Okay. Physically, everybody that you see outside is like busy at work. They're picking things up, they're moving things around, they're stacking bodies, they are physically active. But you see about 40 pairs of eyes trained on the door you just walked out of.
Y'all better stop staring, else I'm gonna get angry.
They keep staring.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Alright. Well, you start heading back as well. Bink is performing, that leaves Lawless. You're going door to door.
Yep.
I'll say the first couple doors that you go to are empty.
Okay.
You do eventually find a family in one of the houses, starting kind of in the dock area. I would imagine you probably skipped the things like the markets, the taverns,
Right.
places that were very clearly occupied.
And she's probably not like actively looking for like I'm gonna strike out on my own and find people to traumatize more. She's like looking for clumps of soldiers who are already actively helping so that she can like just kind of
Yeah. Very easily.
Okay.
You catch up that there are a couple of like I can't think of the actual name for it, but I'm envisioning the like when you go to the fair and there's the I lost my kid station.
yeah.
There's a bunch of those
First
set
aid
up.
stations,
Yeah. There's some healers and some people trying, taking names, trying to figure out who's who and where's where that you could stop in at.
Offering an extra set of hands to do healing or lift heavy things or give rides to children,
Absolutely.
whatever.
None of them turned you down as you make your way through. You do eventually see Zanzibar step into a small house with somebody, because most of the stations are around this area too.
What is he up to?
Then you see him step back out not too long after. But yeah.
And then say, don't stop staring or
Yeah.
Careful, Zanzibar. These people have been through a lot.
And so have we.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, stop staring. Or I'll give you something to stare at.
While there, you quickly realize none of them are staring at you.
Oh.
And as Zan moves, you see that their eyes are all still trained on the door.
Oh.
Then as the gentleman that was behind Zan steps out, you recognize him as the King of Neverwinter, who you've seen from a distance, not necessarily
Right.
in person yourself. But they just seem to follow him. They're not.
I gotcha.
They're just keeping an eye on him, but things kind of go back to normal.
And at some point in the day, she will find like a quiet spot, kind of break off, take a break, sit down. She's going to pull out a pen and start drawing it as clear as she can directions from about where we are to where old Gnawbone lives on the map that she found.
Cool.
So like you are here with little tiny clawed digit footprints headed in the direction of where old Gnawbone is.
You got it. So a few hours go by as you guys have done this. Aiden, you have cleaned up the house. You've at least managed to take the trash out, sweep up. It looks at least presentable, though not very well decorated yet. Bank, you have performed for a good amount of time. Was there anything Zan was going to do for the next hour or two?
Maybe just walk around, and I'm pretending to help out, but I'm worried about everybody who's close to the king, per se. So I'm keeping an eye out for any suspicious behavior.
Okay. Yeah. I would say over that course of time, you don't see, nothing really sticks out at you.
Okay.
Seems pretty calm. Everybody's pretty focused. But as a couple of hours pass by and people begin to populate or move stations into all of the different areas, I would say all of you probably start to catch wind of a commotion at the castle.
Oh dear, what's this? Trot, 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 trot.
So I would say Zan and Lalia, you guys probably heard it the quickest, passed down through the soldiers. Bink, you start to hear some murmurs from the crowd about something's going on at the castle. I would say Aiden, you've probably caught wind of it. There's been a couple guards that have stopped by the house that you're cleaning to see if it was occupied. And they probably have passed that information over time as well. But it sounds like Lalia, you're headed back to the castle.
Yep.
Okay.
Is this a commotion that would entice people to go over there? Is there like a crowd or something?
You see most of the civilians are being asked to just stay home. You see a few of the guards have begun making their way that way.
I'll walk with whoever's going that way and ask them what actually is going on.
Okay. You gather that all of them are uncertain. It just sounds like they have asked for some extra guards to come up. About Bink or Aiden, are you guys staying where you're at, or are you following?
I'm gonna follow.
Okay.
Aiden would follow reluctantly.
Okay. Doesn't take you all too long to meet back up, as there is only one main entrance into the castle, and it's kind of out front, where you see there is a small crowd of citizens, civilians, kind of looking on, wondering what's happening, kind of in this area. But you guys, being who you are, and you see that at the head are a couple of other soldiers, and Zan, you would recognize that the King of Neverwinter is also accompanied a few guards here. And as you all reconvene, he looks at you and he says, "Well, it sounds like there's a commotion inside the castle. Somebody coming up from somewhere. I haven't gotten all the information yet. Would you and your party mind coming with me?" As he points to you, Zan.
Yeah, I guess they seem to have made their way up here. And then I'll turn to Aiden. Wouldn't it be funny if the queen married the king? And I'll point to the king when I say that.
I hope you are you pointing at Aiden right now?
I think you're pointing at the King of Neverwinter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pointing at the king of Neverwinter.
Honestly, what?
He kind of laughs behind you.
You know, Zan, if you ever want to retire from adventuring, you should open a matchmaking business.
You think I'd be good at it?
Well, you know, none of your matches have actually, like, given it a shot yet, so you probably won't have any good referrals for the first couple years. I don't know, do you think... We should talk about this later. Should we go with the king?
The king kind of looks over y'all and says, "That's a wonderful notion, young Dragonborn, but she's much too young for me."
How old is the king?
He looks pretty old. Nobody's asked, but he looks pretty old. And the Queen of Aralani looks pretty young.
Yeah. She said she was like 30s, 40s ish. Yeah.
And this dude is like, you're amazed he can fight without a cane.
Oh, okay.
Silver fox out here. Okay.
You goddamn kids, get off my kingdom.
But he turns and begins to lead you all with him back up to the castle that you jumped out of.
Oh, there's the door.
Right.
Aiden, why didn't we go this way?
Walk through.
I don't ask me that, alright? We got out of the castle one way or another.
But you find yourselves in a courtyard, which is fairly empty. You see there's some guards standing around out here, kind of taking inventory, and they kind of point towards the door. And you see that at this point, many of the survivors that you guys had collected downstairs are starting to pour out of the front doors and are making their way back towards the main city. But you do see one guard at the top, which was a couple of the guards that you had saved are just kind of like waving in, like, we need a interpreter or a liaison. And then he spots your guys' party. He says, oh, you wonderful people, can you come help again?
Why do I feel like the kobolds are coming?
Oh, no.
Oh my god.
Alright.
He kind of waves you in. You guys follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The king follows you. As you make your way through the front door, you see a throne room. You look to the left and there's an open door. You are led there into this little area
Hey, look at
that you recognize. And as you step in here, you see, I'm not going to necessarily place all of them, but I'm just going to do this. You see the queen is currently conversing with a goblin with one arm. And behind the goblin, you see all the other goblins that you had found down there, and 2 kobolds. But as you step into the doorway, the queen kind of looks over at you as a group, and she says, "Oh, wonderful. I was really hoping you could come help with this. They followed us. The goblins we invited, obviously. We figured we could rehouse them or give them jobs, or you guys had mentioned something. But the little ones seem to think that we owe them something?
Hayden looks pointedly at Lolly.
Lalia steps forward and with her best school marm, like clicks her tongue and crosses her arms and looks at the two kobolds and says, "What were the instructions?"
When the thing turned red, we were supposed to get a dragon.
That's pretty close. Did it turn red?
We don't know, we left.
So how are you ever going to know if you get a dragon?
We assume,
And what have we learned about assuming?
to not to.
All right. Well, we must march back downstairs. I can't believe how much time is left on my wind walk.
I mean, it's an 8-hour spell, so you've got a few
so
hours.
I got time.
But as you make your way around, you see that the illusion has been dropped.
Okay.
And you can see the staircase down is full of kobolds.
Oh
Okay.
my word, you're all up.
We're all here.
Would I have an understanding of how kobolds feel about sunlight? Like Michaela
Yes.
knows, but does Lalia?
Yeah.
Well, why the hell would you come up here where there is sunshine?
We're still in the hall.
Oy. All right. Well, if you want to not be in the sunshine, you got to go back down in the hole, and we need to check the circle to see if there's red light there. Yeah. Well, you did this to yourselves.
Better
Okay.
hurry up now. You don't want to get disciplined by Lalia.
You see them all turn and just start sulking back down the stairs. Are you gonna fly ahead
I'm
of
gonna
them?
fly ahead of them.
Okay, as you fly over these kobolds, you realize pretty quickly you are flying like down the stairs, which
Yeah.
is like a couple-hour journey. You are flying over a sea of kobolds.
Oh my word.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Like there are kobolds from the top to the bottom step.
Before I get down there, I'll just check with anybody want to come. I'm probably gonna have to climb back out. Anybody want to join you? You guys good?
Yeah, we'll get
Oh no,
there.
I'm talking. Sorry, I'm looking at you.
Oh.
I'm asking the party. Zan, Aiden, Bink, Peter, anybody?
Yeah, I suppose so.
All right.
Yep.
So,
You guys can go ahead. You dug your grave on that one.
oh, before I leave, Aiden, I let the king know about our situation, so he knows everything.
Oh, good. You saved me some time. Well, I just opened up my window a little bit, I suppose.
Yeah, there you go.
As
Try
you-
not to.
Go ahead.
Try not to lead these kobolds on a random expedition. Xandadar, I'm looking at you.
I think they lead
We have
themselves
to go
on.
find a dragon. They want to find a dragon. What do you mean?
Uh huh.
Send them on a wild goose chase. Oh no.
But as you, Lalia, begin to fly with Zan, right? The two of
Yeah.
you were going?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You are passing over a sea of kobolds. There's thousands of them. You're starting to wonder how they all fit underground, but then you remember they live underground.
Oh,
The entire civilization got word that there was a dragon.
They all went up the staircase. Alright.
But it doesn't take you very long in cloud form to get back down to the bottom, and you see that the word has kind of gone with you, and they have begun to turn around and head back. Are you flying back to the room that you left the kobolds in initially?
I will take a small detour into, like, especially if I can be stealthy in wind form.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna take a minute. I want to curve off into a separate room to drop the wind form and write a note to Gnawbone
Mhm.
really fast. Or I could have done that when I was doing the map
Sure.
too. But just kind of saying, like, found these kobolds under the kingdom of Aralani. I hope you see this as a favor and not a burden. They seem nice, if a little short, what's the word I want? Short attention span and not the brightest bulbs. And then I'll just add P.S. I'm sure your site allows you to know, but in case you don't, things are interesting here. And do like a brief kind of recap of what we suspect Cryo is up to.
Cool. Easy enough.
Yeah. And then she'll head back into the room.
Okay.
And wait until...
As you get back into the room in the back, you see one very large kobold is just staring at the wall.
Does he look familiar?
Yeah, he's the big chubby one.
He's a big... Okay. Fine, young man. All right. Is Anne with us?
Yeah.
Okay. So as she sees this, she'll pull her wand of pointing from her bag of holding and turn it on and point it into the circle.
Okay. You see him, he doesn't react. He's just still staring at it.
I'm going to wiggle it around a little bit.
You watch his head kind of follow it.
Oh dear.
He kind of looks over at you. Is that red?
I think so. You know, Zan, is this red?
Guys, it's red! You see like one little kobold poke his head out of the path behind. Says, oh! Why did they leave you to watch it? You're colorblind. I don't know.
Alright. Okay, friend, I need you to identify the most trustworthy of your ranks. Who do you think would make the best leader for a voyage?
Our king.
Where's your king?
You're looking at him.
Oh, you're the king.
Yeah, the big chubby one.
Do you have an assistant?
Yeah, that guy.
The one who asked why they left?
Yeah.
Alright, the two of you, come over here.
Okie dokie. Kind of lumbers over.
Alright.
Okay.
Do you know what this is? And I'll show them the map.
Paper.
Alright, this is a map.
Well, yeah. Duh.
Don't tell me. Answer good questions. Alright, so, and I will point. You are here, yes? You are water deep under Aralani, right here.
Yep.
There is a green dragon. Very old, very ancient, very wise. Sometimes moody. She lives over here. And I will I forget the forest she lives in. But I will point to the forest she lives in. I will say, this is the map of how to get there. I unfortunately only know how to get there on land. So if you want to travel underground, you will have to be resourceful and figure that out. But this is the
He grabs
general...
the map. Sets it down and says, oh, we know that forest.
Oh, good.
We've already dug halfway there before.
Well, perfect.
We just have to use the old mines. And he pulls out, like, you see him, like, out of his back pocket. Like, he pulls out, like, a compass and a protractor and,
Right.
like, a pin. And he just starts mapping.
Perfect.
Yep.
All right. And so then to the other one, as he's doing that, I will hand my note and say, when you arrive there, make sure that the dragon gets this. It tells her who you are, who sent you, and it has some important information for her about what is happening in the world, okay?
Okay.
All right. And then, many blessings, and there's your dragon. It's not instant, but it's pretty great, and the forest is lovely.
The big one looks back and he says, everybody else went ahead to look for you. I told them to. Can you
they're
tell
coming
them?
back. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Can you tell them to go to tunnel 26?
Oh God.
Sure.
That's the old tunnel.
Oh my god.
All right.
It's gonna take us that way.
I'm going to turn to the nearest kobold and say, Tunnel 26, pass it on.
What? No, the rest of them.
Do the next one. Tunnel 26, pass it on.
It eventually starts to trickle as some of the kobolds have made it. The ones that were at the bottom of the steps have now made it back to the room you're in.
There you go.
You see that they just start this mass exodus.
Oh.
You gotta push yourself against the wall a couple times to not get taken with them.
I lean over to Zanzidar and I go, bets on how many of them don't make it?
Well, they all won't make it if they lose that sheet of paper.
This is true. I did. Well, we did our best. Oh, what do you would do better.
If we just escort him there, I mean, but that's if we have time. I don't know if we have time exactly.
I don't know that I would make it that long underground either. This last day was enough. The last couple days. And I don't think they like traveling where there is sunshine.
But it doesn't kill him, right?
You know, that's actually a good question. I'm not sure. I don't think so. But I have heard of creatures like exploding when they're in the sun. Hey, you!
Yeah!
Do you die in sunshine?
No!
Well, there you go.
It just hurts.
Well, you're supposed to wear this thing called sunscreen.
Not our skin or eyes.
Or sunglasses.
What are those?
These things that aren't part of the fantasy world.
If we got some, we could live upstairs.
I mean, if you wanted to, we might have to expand our housing.
You see him kind of like chat to one of the kobolds next to him. He looks back at you. Okay, you get us some, then we take over the world.
Oh God.
Yeah.
One thing at a time. You go find old Gnawbone and enjoy having a dragon. That's enough at the moment.
Okay. Gnawbone, give us sunny glasses.
You make sure to ask her every day. Yes.
Oh God.
Okay. How many days?
All of the 11.
Oh, 11 days. He gets swept up with the tide of the rest of the kobolds.
Well. Say Zanzibar.
You know, if you're in a giving mood,
Oh.
Why not just give him the pants that we got from that gnome one time?
You know, they're going to have to walk a very far while. I think if any of them lost pants, that would be or lost their legs, it would be very counterproductive to their, you know, their trip that they are taking.
I mean, journey is all about hardship, right?
That's true. I could give him one of the scrolls of Mark.
Yeah.
What do you think? Should I do scroll of, I forget what they all are. Scroll of Mark, scroll of water walking. Which one should I give them? Where are they?
Probably water walking.
The water walking?
Water walking sounds important. Yeah.
Just in case they dig into the earth and find like a lake.
Oh, there you go. That would be hilarious. All right, I will just pull out a scroll of water walking and hand it to the whichever one.
Was this the one you bought in the gnome village?
Yeah.
Okay, it's water walk.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I typed it in wrong then. Yeah, that's the one where the nearest bucket starts walking around. Yeah.
Yeah, the nearest body of water
Or
starts
nearest
walking.
body. Yeah, that one.
Okie dokie. One of them kind of takes this scroll. Like, what's this do?
Oh, wonders beyond your wildest imagination. Save it for a good day.
Opens it. Well, today's a good day.
All right.
No, you have to activate it on a full moon.
Oh,
What's a
yes,
moon?
I had forgotten that. What's a moon?
And then you see one of the other kobolds next to him pulls his pants down. Yes!
Oh, no.
Shows his butt. Oh, I read now.
It can only be read on special holidays. You have those, yes?
Yep.
All right, save it for the next special holiday.
Okay. 12 years. Puts it in his bag.
Good enough. Oh, dear.
Which you're not sure if that's actual years or if it's like dog years.
Right. Or is it just 11 days?
Yeah.
Say, Zanzadar. While we're down here, I was thinking about that thing you showed me yesterday.
The needle?
Well, Well, no, I mean that too, yes. And thank you for, stabbing Zydan with it and giving him a heart attack. I appreciate it.
I really thought it would give him wings.
That's the last thing he needs, honestly. He's doing pretty well without. Anyway. No, the other thing, the amulet. Are you, in offering it to me, were you hoping to just get rid of it? Or did you still want it around as something you could use at some point?
No, I was trying to get rid of it.
Well, I was thinking about it, and thinking about the fact that I'd have to come all the way back down here anyway to show them where they needed to go. And I was wondering if you would maybe want to try. You said it came back to you after you got rid of it one time, but you didn't try to destroy it, right?
Yep.
I wonder what would happen if you threw it into that fire outside the temple.
Oh, interesting.
I just say, I definitely don't want to carry it around for you, but if you're just trying to unhand it, that stuff seems pretty strong.
Worth a shot.
And I mean, we're all the way down here. Might as well make it a good trip, right?
Yep. So I'll go ahead and walk and find the fire and throw it in if I can.
Okay. Yeah, it's not too far from the room you were in. As you give the amulet a toss, you see it hits the flames and kind of floats for a second as it's in this magical barrier, and then you see it begin to glow a very red hot, like it's being superheated, and you see the bluish white flames of the crystalline fire turn black for a few seconds, and then the amulet just begins to evaporate, disintegrate into dust as the flames go back to blue, and you see it no more.
Well, that's good.
There we go. If it comes back, though, please tell me, because that would be some fucked up shit.
Yeah, well. Dealing with gods.
They are a unpredictable bunch, even the ones who aren't as chaotic as Garrett is.
Yeah.
Do you want to check out that last little bit of room that we never went to?
I do.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna have to switch to that map.
Sorry.
And I will show you. As you guys can, as quickly as you want, make your way back over to this area.
If there are stairs, I'm out. No, I'm just...
And you're peeking past this entryway.
Mhm.
You see stairs
Son of a...
leading to a door.
Oh.
Very, very high set, large double doors.
One.
As you walk up, nothing noticeable. It just seems like a kind of crumbly hallway that was unearthed. And as you get,
Divine sense.
Yep.
Just to be sure.
yeah, nothing sticks out to you.
Okay.
As you get
So
to
if I see you doing that, I'll throw up Detect Magic also.
Okay. So as you get to the doors, you see that they are partially ajar. And you do detect some magical presence or essences beyond the door. You gather that there are traps in the room. They seem like
Next room is trapped.
enchantment-based type things.
It's trapped, you say? Oh, well.
Does the door push open?
Yeah. The door was not trapped. It was just ajar. But as you step in, you can see, I'll give you this now. The two chests on either side give off enchantment magic. And all 8 of the statues give off enchantment magic.
Oh dear, are these those things that made me talk funny?
What's the radius of the room?
About 35, 40 feet.
I'm going to pick up a stone or something like loose gravel and chuck it in front of the statue on the left. Like aiming to. So, what would that be? The northeast corner one?
It's like this. Break this plane.
I was looking at the next one, but yeah, that's fine. Yeah, yep, that works.
Yep. As you throw it and you break this plane, you see a dart shoot. And you probably threw it hard enough, you see a dart shoot out of this one.
Well, I found the trap.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you saw it shoot like this.
Mhm.
From that statue and this statue.
Okay. I'll
So
throw-
I could throw in a fireball, but then it'd most likely ruin anything else worth looting in here.
If I throw a rock again in the exact same pattern, do they trigger again? Like within 30 seconds?
Yep.
Oh. They don't have a reload time. We could try a fireball. I also could probably dispel some of it. I don't think I could dispel the whole room.
Okay.
I'll give you a perception check while you're in here if you'd like.
Sure. Ooh, that's a decent roll. 23.
Okay. And a 19. Cool. You guys, you do see some draconic writing on the back wall.
Ooh. Can you read that? Mine's a little rusty.
I know how to do draconic, yeah.
Okay. As you read the ancient draconic words, it takes you a minute to do it, but you have some experience now. You see that it reads, "True neutrality lies in the middle. That's where you're safe."
Ooh.
I
Okay.
hate riddles.
So all we gotta do is stand in the middle.
Wait, when did you get here?
I was here all along.
Oh, you just blended in with all the kobolds, I see.
I will go ahead and fly out to the middle of the room then.
Okay.
As he goes, protection from energy.
So you're just kind of flying straight here.
Or
Yep.
Yep.
Shield of Faith. We'll do Shield of Faith.
Cool.
Because protection from energy, I have to pick one.
You get to here and nothing happens. I'd say you do recognize that this is the only chest that doesn't come off with like enchantment trap magic. But as you get to the middle of the room, you can also see that there are a couple items on top of this chest.
Ooh. You're doing great.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and fly over to the chest in front of me then.
Okay. So straight to this one.
Yep.
You make it there.
Does it look like it could be picked up?
The chest? No.
Yeah. Okay.
Nope. Not at all.
What is on top of it? What are the items that were on top of it?
Sure. You see a book and a large broken key.
Ooh.
Huh. Is the book open or closed?
It's open.
Does it look like it's draconic, or is there any like page like highlighted or words or anything like that?
Yeah, it doesn't take much of an investigation to look at this and realize this is a book of translation. This is a book where you can see a word is written in Draconic, followed by a word written in Ancient Draconic. It is literally a Rosetta Stone for Ancient Draconic.
Huh.
Which, you know, would have been helpful in the room where you had to decipher the Bahamut message.
Right, yeah.
What?
And I'll also give you that the large broken key has the symbol of Polychronos on it. It seems very reminiscent of the key that Aiden had with Bahamut on it.
I'm gonna snatch both the key and the book.
Cool.
Anything happen?
Nope.
Does the chest look like it has a keyhole?
Nope.
Okay. Do I have an...
It does have a hinge.
Yeah.
Just holler if you need help. I'll send Bankin.
Oh, okay. Bink is upstairs though, right?
He's wherever he wants to
He's
be.
where Bink
Yeah, I'm upstairs, yeah.
Okay. Just we're right here. Here, you know what, Zaidan? Go join him.
Your Maul grows two legs and runs up behind Zanzidar. What's up, bro?
So I've still got some Remoraz meat in my pocket, or whatever. I'm gonna pull it out and drop it on the chest.
Okay. It
Can I
lands
pick
on
it
the
back
chest. And you pick it back up. There's now a little blood spot on
Awesome.
the chest.
Okay.
Ew.
I'm gonna try and open the chest.
It opens. Inside you see the it's old and tattered, but you see like a fluffy kind of lined velvety insert in the middle of this chest, where you can see the outline of where the key that was on top would fit perfectly if it wasn't broken. But other than that, it's empty.
Oh, okay. So the chest was holding the key.
You gather.
Well, that's not really helpful. There's nothing in the chest, by the way. Lolly.
Oh, alright. No traps either, though.
So I think we were just supposed to get the book and the key. We could try opening up the other chest, but that would mean trapped.
Oh. No, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, that could be bad. It's very tempting, though.
And you know what? I'm just gonna say screw it. But before I do, I'm gonna click my boots of speed, and I'm gonna cast haste on myself.
Okay.
Alright.
I'm trying to go as fast as possible to avoid the traps.
Okay.
And I'm gonna check both chests.
I need you to make 8 dexterity saving throws.
Yep.
If
Oh
you
my
if you
God.
fly close to Lalia, you'll get advantage and +5 for at least
4 of them.
4 of them.
This
Okay.
is just for the statues. Actually,
Oh
I'm
my
sorry,
God.
because you have to go through and back, so I need you to make 16.
Jesus Christ.
What the hell?
And then there's going to
Hey,
be one
at
for
least
each
I have
chest.
advantage.
Yeah, and then there's one for each chest. So that's a total of 18 dexterity saving throws.
Okay.
And it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, advantage on 8 of them. So yeah.
And I will tell
Actually,
you.
advantage on all of them because I have haste up.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So plus 5 on 8 of them.
And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, of the 18, every one that you fail, you're taking 12 points of damage.
Okay.
You got this.
I'm going to go pee.
Okay.
The DC is 16.
Oops.
Get rid of those ones, man.
Gotta pull up the thing so I can keep
You're at your 10th roll.
10th. Thank you. Now it's gonna stop working on me.
It says no more. Do you want to map this out based on his rolls so that we know which ones we would apply the plus 5 to, if that makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
So far for mapping the plus 5, you would only fail 2 of them.
Yeah.
No.
Based
No,
on where
3
he
of them.
was, it would have been.
3 of them, sorry. You failed 3 even if you had the plus 5.
Well, if he came back down in front of Lalia, if that makes sense, before he
Yeah,
darted
okay.
back and forth.
Yep. So if you started here, you would give. Well, that's the wrong button. Give me this one. So you started here, it'd be number 1, number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, number 8, 9. So 1, 2, 8, 9.
Okay, I think I'm done.
So
Oh
1,
my
2,
God.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
Yeah, from all his rolls, he would only have 3 certified failures,
All right.
regardless if he had the bonus or not.
And it's how much damage for each one?
So it's 36, right?
Yep, so it's
Mhm.
36 points of damage, and for the next 3 hours, you talk backwards.
Oh god.
And I don't have a greater restoration to
Yep.
help you.
And you realize that all of the chests were empty, because as you open them, you just get thrown back with a blast of force that technically would send you back into the range of the statue, but because you were headed that way anyways, I'm not giving you 2 extra saves.
Lolly is trying really hard not to laugh if Zan starts talking. I'm going to assume you didn't find anything?
On
God.
Good deal.
pass.
Yeah.
Right.
So the way that these worked is you were tongue-tied for an hour each time, and at the end of each hour you would get to make a save. So at the end of each hour for the next 3 hours you would make a save, but it would only end one of them.
Oh no.
Yep.
So you're tongue-tied for 3 hours.
Good times.
So
Lalia, you would understand what's going on because you had it happen.
Alright.
basically, from the center chest, I start to blur a little bit, and then
Mm-hmm.
a lightning bolt hits me, and within the blink of an eye, battered around the entire room, and both chests are opened.
Yep. It's like a pinball machine on
Right.
speed.
By the end of it, I'm lying on my back in the center of the floor.
You alright?
On.
Oh.
Well, just because I want to try this out, but also Lalia will have Zydan walk over and pat your head, and through him, she's gonna cast Cure Wounds at first level. Or no, we'll do second level because that's where my packed slots are.
Yep.
So second level Cure Wounds. You're doing great there, buddy.
Off.
If anyone asks, well, you know what? They might know that you got into some tomfoolery down there. I was gonna say, if anyone asks, we found something really cool in this room.
So I just want to clarify. He speaks backwards, or his sentences are backwards? Like which way? Like he sounds like weird when he talks, or just like he puts words backwards of what he means?
Everything. If he
Both ways.
Yes.
It's like the end of the sentence, and he says it backwards, and he goes like from back to front, and it sounds backwards. So
yeah,
it's
so
just
Zanzidar thinks he's
impossible
saying,
to understand.
Yeah, it takes Zanzidar a second, because at first he thinks he's speaking a regular sentence, but then he hears the words and the sentence come out backwards.
Don't worry, it'll wear off in just a minute.
I'd just duct tape my mouth at that point so I don't sound stupid.
Yeah, for me, it did not take very long. I think you'll be fine. You just got to wait a
But-
moment.
So for the essence of this, at this point, Zanzidar, any spell that you have that has some verbal components, you cannot cast.
Yeah.
Unless you make a pretty decent intelligence check to try and say the words backwards so that they come out forwards.
Right.
I know, right? You would actually have to think about it and think reverse slash unbackwardsing your word. So you would have to like speak the end of your sentence backwards to right your wrong.
Ow.
Yeah, that's a lot of big brainers right there.
Great.
After that, and after having tried to communicate this, Zan, a few moments go by and you see the chests that you open begin to close again. Almost like they're resetting.
Hmm. I'm gonna kind of motion. It's time to go.
Alright, alright. Back to the stairs.
You gather pretty quickly that right down the center was safe.
Yeah, but come on. Dangling closed chests in front of us.
Right? Alright. So you guys make your way back over. You headed up.
I think so. I don't think there was any other loose threads down here. Send the kobolds out. The goblins are upstairs, right?
Yep.
So if they still need names from Lalia, that can be done topside. Alright, we should go before our wind walk wears off.
One eyebrow raises, and he just flaps his wings a little bit.
Oh, shut up. I haven't had time to look at the needle yet.
And your haste ends.
Ha ha!
You're like halfway down these stairs to get to the main stairs, and you just watch as Zan like face plants.
Oh no!
Just goes lethargic for a second.
The wing's not working so well at the moment. Alright, stop fooling around. Let's go.
Oh man. Alright, so you guys make it back over to the big stairs. You see that most of the kobolds have at this point started to make their way back in.
I keep an ear out, and am I hearing Tunnel 26?
Yep.
Has the telephone worked?
Tunnel 26, Tunnel 26,
They
12
haven't
years,
started.
12 years, holiday,
All right.
moon. You see some butts.
Just what I needed.
But you guys float your way back up the 10-mile long staircase. I think we're going to go ahead and take a pee break. Give everybody a couple minutes here to refresh, and then we will jump up to Aiden and Bink, and what you guys were accomplishing while these guys ran downstairs.
Okay.
So we'll be back in just a few. Mm-hmm. Look back in here. We had some downstairs shenanigans as Lalia and Zan explored the rest of the one mist area in the dungeons underneath Aralani as you traversed over and set the kobolds on their path of mining to get to the area where the green dragon that you so mentioned to them, Old Gnawbone, is located. And you began making your way back up the staircase to rejoin your friends at the top. So, during that time, Aiden and Bink, you guys were in the area of the palace where the Queen of Aralani and the King of Neverwinter, who had followed you in, were currently standing and conversing with a small group of goblins. The one at the front was missing an arm, but he was also joined by another that Lalia had so named Courage. And they were just kind of chatting up the Queen at the moment till she was distracted. But as Lalia and Zan took charge of moving the kobolds down, the Queen kind of looks over at the two of you and says, well, I'm glad that's handled, and I suppose now we need to find accommodations for our goblin friends. And she kind of looks at the two of you. Any recommendations? I didn't have much dealings with them, but seems they're pretty fond of you guys.
How much knowledge would I have on goblins? Since they are more often than not related to orcs in some manner.
You have gathered that they are usually, when it comes to orcs, goblins are usually subservient to orcs and not of their own will.
So more or less they live in the same conditions as orcs.
Not always. There are goblin towns and civilizations, and they can be civilized, and you've seen a few goblins that live in places like Neverwinter. You know of one that you smuggled out that was able to live amongst a normal civilization without too much persecution. You also know of Droopy and his brothers that were spies.
Force of nature.
Droopy's just basically the best, honestly. He doesn't like to toot his own horn, but it's true.
Yeah, you would have a basic understanding that they are intelligent enough that they can integrate with society if given the chance. But they are often found in the wild and are hunted by orcs to be servants to orcs and other ilk of that area. And if that happens, their growth and their social ability is usually stunted or paused, but they could be reintroduced to society or unsure. You haven't saved and tried to convert a goblin in your past, but they are not inherently evil or wild, untamable beasts.
They show a desire to stay within the city walls.
You see Army kind of looks over at you, says, I wouldn't mind it, but I think I could be a good adventurer too. Like maybe I could join you guys.
Well, what makes you say that you would be a good adventurer?
Nothing yet, but I'm pretty sure I'd be good with a bow and arrow.
Army only has one arm, right?
Yeah, I got 2 feet though.
You ever tried shooting a bow with your feet?
Nope. But I'm excited to try.
Uh, While it would be interesting to see, if you want to be an adventurer, trying to pull your bow out and attempt to use your feet with it makes things tricky, I guess, if you find yourself in a fight. Because obviously no one's going to let you sit there and try to fiddle with a bow with your feet.
What if I say please?
If it's a fight, I don't think they care about please.
Huh. Guess I need a lot of practice then.
If you want to make good use of your one arm, I would suggest using some sort of blade, like a knife. And if you really want to use something that you can use from a distance, there are knives that are made specifically for throwing.
Ooh. And you see him start like calculating in his head, and he just kind of turns and wanders back into the group. You see Courage kind of steps up with his sword, which is still a little heavy for him, kind of dragging a little bit. But he looks up at you and looks at the queen. He's like, the horse lady gave me a name. My name is Courage. I will speak for our tribe. We are a tribe now. I am the leader. We want freedom.
Is she saying this to Aiden or Queen?
Both of you.
Okay.
And the queen just kind of like, she nods her head and she kind of looks at you. Says, I did not deal with them much. This could be your first call as a noble and general here within Aralani. What do you say?
If you were to receive such freedom, where would you go? What are your plans?
We don't know yet. Probably find somewhere to live. We could maybe teach Army how to shoot a bow and like be a hunter or something. Maybe you get some farmland, make some babies.
What?
Make some babies.
It's just on the to-do list.
He's starting a
Literally.
tribe, bro.
God, okay. Alright. Sensible goals from the sound of it.
Not serve orcs. Maybe kill orcs. If they're bad guys.
Well, if what your immediate goal is to try to find somewhere suitable for your tribe, why not stay in the city for a little while at least? Certainly some of the people must be hungry after being those orcs' slaves for however long you have.
Probably. Do these people like aura goblins? Are the people up here gonna like us?
It really depends on each person you meet. But I'll see to it that no wrongdoing comes of you.
Okay, and we have room to grow here?
If the queen sees fit, I'm sure there's some land available for you to use.
Okay, because goblins populate quick. He sounds like he's more sure of that than he actually believes.
This is his first time leading a tribe. So.
Yeah.
We'll figure something out.
Okay, and there's farmland around here? I want to grow potatoes.
It's still winter time, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
There's plenty of land, sure, but the weather right now isn't particularly good for farming. At least not until it warms up.
Okay.
How much do you know about farming?
Nothing.
Oh god. Alright, can I add that to the to-do list? Task some available farmers to teach goblins how to farm.
Send goblins to farm school.
Right.
So farmland, critical land to rebuild yourselves, as well as, I suppose, training in how to defend yourselves if you really wish to defend yourselves against orcs.
Yup.
Alright. Well, first off, your freedom is more than, of course, granted. Overall, that was my initial goal when I found you down there. If you wish
Thank
to
you.
stay here, then... If you wish to stay here, then I'll see to it that I make some accommodations for you. But if you wish to take your lands elsewhere, then you will have no... There will be no issue with that.
Alright, we'll stay here for now since it's not farming time. And the horse lady still needs to give us names.
Oh, that's right, she does need to do that. I'll make sure to remind her of that.
By the way, have you seen those one guys that were the spies?
The spies.
Yeah, the other goblins. And Neverwinter kind of speaks up. Oh, yes, those were my troops. What of them? Oh, they owe me gold because we're still alive.
How much gold exactly?
I don't remember. We just bet that we wouldn't make it or not.
Oh my god.
Huh. Alright, then I suppose we'll try and find them. But
Neverwinter kind of speaks up. He's like, they're brothers nearby-ish, but I've sent the rest of them off on some other errands at this point. It might be a while before we see them again.
Yeah. That's fine then. First things first, let's try and get them some accommodations. Get them settled down somewhere.
Above table, there's a nice house that was just cleared out in the in the third
Ha!
district.
Ha! Stay in my house. Ain't enough room there for all you.
Well, the queen kind of looks around. She says, well, wonderful. She says, I would have to imagine that with all of the previous nobles taken care of and not surviving, kind of looking at you questioningly, Aiden, their time in captivity.
Yes, unfortunately they did not survive.
I thought as much, seeing as how we did not find them in the chambers we were in, and they did not return to the surface. That leaves about 15 houses in the noble district open and available to new families, as well as a few accommodations here in the wings of the palace. Obviously, these will be available to any of our up-and-coming nobles. She looks again at you, Aiden. She's like, you are welcome to any of them. If you would like to claim one, you most certainly may. But in the meantime, I believe they would be perfect housing for those that have been less fortunate or unhoused or need accommodations.
But of course. I'll see to it that they get escorted there immediately.
Wonderful. I would say you do recognize this through the little walkthrough I gave beforehand, that is the eastern side of town, where the larger, more open areas are. Says, all right. Well, I'm going to gather some people, and I think a nice dinner is in order. If you would all like to join, perhaps we could get those commanding officers once their duties are done, and if King Neverwinter here should like to join us, we should dine this evening with anyone who would like to join and have a celebration of sorts.
I think that's a splendid idea. One that's much needed after all this time of struggle.
Well, I suppose I'll be off then. And she just kind of begins to wander out towards the front door. You see King Neverwinter kind of takes his spot beside her, and they begin chatting on their way out.
Now then, Aiden's going to make do on his word, and he's going to start escorting the goblins and the now freed citizens to their new accommodations, or at least temporary, perhaps, unless they want to stay there.
Cool. Yeah, you would notice at this point it's just the goblins up here with you, but you can pass the word around to the guards outside that are currently dealing with all of the citizens that followed you out. But you can briskly make your way over to the Eastern District and pretty much give them any house you want.
Well, what house would you say in this district would fit all of them? All the goblins, I say.
Probably one of these. There's a couple of these, like, 3-story ones. Like this.
Mm-hmm.
That would most definitely, I think, fit the, like, 10 to 15 goblins you have. Because they're pretty big. And they're still pretty furnished.
Yeah, we'll give them that one. It looks like it has plenty of farmland, too, around it.
Yep. It's got some open area.
Cool. Well, that is their new home now.
You got it.
And as for the citizens, if they have, or if they already owned a home prior to their captivity, they're more than welcome to return to it, unless it has been occupied by someone else. Or if they want to stay in one of these homes, they're more than welcome to as well.
Cool. And you see over probably the course of the next hour or so that, or a couple hours, you spread that word and people have begun reclaiming homes, and you see that there are a couple there's a couple instances where people find their homes inhabited by new people, but more often than not they let them keep it and they just go find a new vacant house. Nobody seems too upset over it. And everybody's
How long were they underground again?
Years.
Oh, okay.
So, but you gather that there are quite a few vacant houses. You also gather that there were probably more nobles than there needed to be. So there are plenty of estates that are open for larger families. They seem to be being given over accordingly. A few of the estate type houses are being kept aside for potential future nobles, but nobody's really putting up too much a stink about it. But a few hours go by. Zan and Lalia have reemerged. You guys have found yourself back in the castle at this point a few hours later. If Aiden and Bink wanted to go meet back up, you could as well, and you would see that there are plenty of people milling about at this point. It looks like some gathering of tables and chairs, and a potluck style type feast is being brought together. As it's it's late afternoon at this point. You can see that word has kind of gotten around. you gather there will be a celebration in a few more hours as people begin getting settled and make their way up as word gets around. But I will give it that you all could have reconvened at this point, seeing each other back in the kind of entrance area of the castle.
So what have you been up to?
Is she saying that too?
Anybody but Zanzidar.
Oh god.
Turns to him as they go back up. It's like, so how you doing? How's everything going? It's like, you know, this whatever we just did. You know, it went pretty well. Pretty horrible, pretty well at the same time.
You know, came up to sing some songs, try to lift people's spirits.
Well, that's wonderful, Bink. We all
I
need
gave Peter a maraca.
Oh,
He
dear.
did okay.
God damn it.
Did he stay on beat?
Kind of. I mean, he needs to improve.
Practice helps everyone. The kobolds are off to find old Gnawbone, but it may take them a while. Apparently, they're gonna dig their way there, so...
Oh my god, why?
They don't like the sunshine.
Oh, I hope they're fast diggers.
Right? They at least seem to be singularly focused, so I imagine all energies will go towards digging to Old Gnawbone for the foreseeable future, so...
I mean, they love dragons, so probably, yeah.
Yeah, you know, they're very committed to their cause.
No, the question is, will old Gnawbone like them?
Yeah.
This is a toss-up, you know?
I suppose.
But they'll deal with them when they get there.
I suppose in the meantime, I've been getting the old citizens acquainted with their homes, or new homes, I suppose, depending on where they decided to stay. And found a home for the goblins to stay while they, as Courage had said, farming and making babies.
Oh god,
Oh,
what the
wow.
Why did they say that?
Well, they are a tribe. They're trying to make themselves a tribe again.
I don't know a lot about this, but I think they can only do one of those right now.
Yeah, so I think their stay will only be temporary, at least until the warmer months return. Then it can start making food again.
Mm.
And I decided to provide some assistance as best I could. Hopefully, a couple of helping hands will help them, because they certainly don't know anything about farming. And I'm fairly certain that none of them know how to properly defend themselves. And they made it very clear that they do not want to end up in captivity under orcs again.
Oh, well, that is admirable. And this is good of you to help them. Oh, by the way, we also checked out that room that we didn't look in yet. Really, Zanzidar checked it out, and we didn't find much, but he's feeling a little under the weather at the moment. He's fine, but maybe
Wow, what happened to him?
we ran into a couple traps. You remember when I was talking funky that one time?
Yes, it was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, his seems to not be wearing off as fast. Have you tried talking recently, Zan?
No.
The hell's wrong with him?
I told you he got hit by a couple traps. It was very,
Yeah, but what
very...
did it do? Why is it talking backwards?
Well, that's what the trap did, as far as I can tell.
Zan, you're probably
Okay.
in your last hour.
Anyway, you know, I used that one spell that could probably fix this on Aiden this morning, so... It'll wear off eventually. If not, tomorrow morning I might be able to help him out.
I would like everyone to, if they would like to roll an insight on Aiden, then they are more than welcome to. Because now this music is getting to me. I like it.
It's lovely.
It sounds like music you'd hear off of a farm or something. It's just like a very peaceful village.
It's a warm hearth.
Oh. Is it giving Aiden a warm heart?
Warm
is he
heart or
stewing?
hearth?
Hearth. Hearth.
Oh, okay.
Did Bink want to make an insight check?
Yes. Insight? Ah, yes, there we go. I didn't know I had. I didn't even know I had insight. I didn't even know it was a thing.
I'm not sure you do, buddy. That's alright.
Bink, I'll give you. Aiden looks more upbeat than normal. That is normal grumpy self. For you, Lalia and Xantadar with a 21 and a fucking 27 over here.
I don't get to roll it very often.
Even in the face of death and how you know his body is still not at 100% per se, there's a certain, like, maybe it's in the eyes, maybe it's in the way he stands. It's almost like a certain weight has been taken off of Aiden in this moment as he stares out into the courtyard of what was once his home. His ultimate goal, what once, from the very beginning, was his goal: to right the wrong, and in a way that has been accomplished. And while this isn't the end, there's still much rebuilding to be done. This is a moment of fulfillment for him. A mere human, one who is not magically inclined like those around him. But the one thing that he was very good at is the will to fight, the will to change, and to take back what was once his. And he's done that. So that's what you get with your 21 and 27.
Well, don't tell me you're going soft now. Getting all sentimental. What, do you want Bink to pull out a little fiddle and play you a little tune?
I was actually gonna see if I can play this song that's currently on my loop. I was gonna
Probably make a performance check.
I was gonna be like, can I make a performance check and try to play something like this?
And for the record, Lolly is, you can tell she's teasing you, if that makes sense.
Aiden just raises an eyebrow at you and just smirks. Don't act like that to me when you've had so many more sentimental moments than I ever have.
Yeah, well, you know. It comes
Yeah,
with the
well-
territory. I was raised by hippies. Kind of.
You just hear this music just like slightly in the background as you guys are talking now.
Yep. Bank has absolutely got this down. Even the little bird noises. You see Peter in the background is chirping.
That's from the. You know what? This is the illusion thing. So you just see like birds kind of like tweeting around and making those noises as I
Perfect.
play it. You just see Bink just like really getting into it.
Come on, you can't tell me you didn't feel the same way when you managed to help your people.
I didn't quite catch that.
I said, come now, Valia. You don't mean to tell me that you didn't feel the same way when you managed to help your people.
She smiles and pauses for a minute and goes, "It really is a great feeling, isn't it? Nothing quite like it."
One that I've been waiting for years now. And now that I have it, it's almost overwhelming. Almost enough to make a grown man cry. No, he does not start crying.
I would like to prestidigitation tears onto no.
Well, you're still missing one thing.
Oh God.
No, I would say at this point, Zan, you're probably back to normal.
Oh, Zanzibar! It's so good to hear your voice. What are we missing?
His dog.
That's right.
God.
Pull that little pup out of my bag of holding.
Oh my god. Like
Pretty
the
sure you
wang.
left him with Nettie.
Yeah, I could have sworn I had a bag to put my dog in. I might have left him with Eddie because I know for a fact that I would freaking. It's fine.
I think
Maybe.
we had a bag, but I don't know that.
We'll say we'll stay with Nettie. We'll say we'll stay with Nettie.
Yeah.
I vaguely
100%
remember that.
It's been a while.
Now I say, I think there's a banquet for us to enjoy. Hopefully, some vegetables for you to munch on, Malia.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. Why are you laughing?
Nothing. Nothing at all. Yeah, this is very uncharted waters for everyone. It's not known for smiling and laughing this much.
You just hear the music just like slowly intensifying in the background as they're talking.
Right. It switches
Birds getting
to...
louder. The birds are also getting very loud.
Are we building to some kind of crescendo there, Bink?
And then you just hear him going to like a rock music type of thing.
There it is.
See him just like flipping his hair back and just like rocking his head back and forth like a rock star, just like waving his hair all around, shredding the loot.
Is he drawing a crowd?
Getting there.
And it's like, nah, this is just for the party now. I mean, if anybody wants to listen in, like the guards or anything, I mean, you know, they can listen in.
I think they can hear you, Bink.
Alright. I think it's about time we don't keep the queen waiting.
That's never a good idea.
The queen.
Well, at this point, it has gotten a little later in the day. Lights have begun to come on. Torches and other candles have been lit all around the town, and you can see that a large gathering of people have kind of come to the courtyard. I'm not going to set it up on Tailspire, but use your imagination. The large courtyard of the palace, both the upper level and the lower level, have been set up almost like a fair. There are tents and tables and chairs. There's laughter in the air, and you can see many people have brought and prepared dishes. Soldiers taking off helmets for the first time in probably all day, wiping sweat from brows. You can see the queen Aralani and the King of Neverwinter have both inserted themselves into the crowd. You see that the palace itself has been opened. There are tables and chairs and eating places set up all throughout the lower levels here. You gather there's nothing really for them to hide within the palace because it's probably all been taken or destroyed anyways, so it's kind of a free, open place to explore, seat yourself while enjoying all of the festivities and food and banqueting that are going on around here. After a while, most people seem to finally make their way to a table, gather food. You see there's quite a large congregation of people outside, some in the large eating chambers inside. You see that attention is called as the Queen of Aralani takes a stand on one of the side balconies of the wings of the castle, where she's easily seen by everybody outside and heard by those inside. And you see that some meander their way over to open windows or doorways to look up at her words. And you see she asks for everyone's attention. She just goes on to say, people of Aralani, we are blessed on this day. By many of the gods above and around us have seen fit to free our kingdom. We give our thanks to the forces of King Neverwinter and the Neverwinter armies. She kind of gestures over to the king, who is seated at a high table, kind of eating. See many of the crowd kind of give bows or quiet applause. They have wiped the slate clean, so to speak. They have cleared the infestation on the surface of our great city and have done a very large step in allowing us to restart, replant, have given us hope to rebuild our city. We also give thanks to those that had a more hidden path. A path many of you may never know about, and I don't feel it's my place to necessarily tell you about it. But know that there were some among these forces that took on a challenge far greater than any of us could handle. They stole away into the darkness and into caves to find themselves in a dungeon well beyond many of our imaginations, hidden many depths below our great city, housing only the most fearsome of the orcs and the armies that had invaded our shores, including the Grand Orc Gorgo, who sat upon the throne of these, led by a mysterious individual known as Lord Cryo. This small group of heroes traveled beneath in order to free many of our civilians, including myself, and many others that were captured and held within this dark prison for many years. We thank them. We offer them free reign of our city, a place at all of our tables. We'll all be respected and known in time to all of you for their heroic deeds. One of which was amongst one of our own, was considered or considers this place home, or once did, and has been welcomed back very graciously as we ask for their help in the future in rebuilding our city when their time comes and their other responsibilities and obligations are fulfilled. But at this point we gather ourselves. We have a hard road ahead of us, many things to accomplish, many things to set right, But hopefully we'll be a better kingdom for it, more prepared than we ever were, and hopefully more together for the struggles and trials that we have been through. But until then, drinks are on us. And she steps down. Most of the crowd just kind of gives applause and just humbly goes back to chatting. See, there's definitely an invigoration, more chat, more murmurs, people enjoying themselves. After a few minutes, you do see that the queen approaches your table. Not making a show of it, just kind of very casually comes and sits with the group of you. She says, I know not what to call you, heroes. Do not know if you have a name or if you even care for one. But the whole kingdom of Aralani greatly appreciates what you have done. All of you have a welcome spot among our tables. Should any of you wish to return here, you will be given a place to stay. You will be allowed a noble title should you wish it. She looks at Aiden specifically. She says, and you will be given a title within our military. You will be our commander when the time is right for you. No rush. But is there any reward I can offer you for the deeds and services you've done this day?
Let's let the party talk first if they have anything they want.
Bink says with a full mouth of chunky apple juice.
I'm sorry, can somebody translate for him?
Was that apple juice, Pink?
Wait, no, that's not it. No, no. Oh, I thought you meant like, am I drinking apple juice? Yes, but okay, okay. She won't know this, but the party will understand after all this time. What I'm asking for is, would you happen to have any magical items per se?
I think of what my little gnome friend here is asking is if there are any particular items of magical potency that may be of use to us on our travels. I know much has been ransacked in the orcs' time here.
I could certainly set aside any that we find. I don't know what we have at this moment. I know what we used to have, but I don't know what remains. I know many treasures were taken. But I imagine in the next few days or so, we will collect what we can. If you are still here at that time, I'd be more than happy to let you have your choosing of any magical items that we find. But it will take some time to gather that together.
Of course, there's no rush at all. I have a feeling we'll be staying here for at least a week.
Bink just gives a thumbs up. With his mouth full, he's just gonna give a thumbs up.
Currently drawing on a piece of paper on the table. And I'm going to hand it over to the queen.
She takes it and kind of studies it for a moment.
It is a drawing of a church of Polychronos.
Ooh. She says, "Oh, are you looking for this place, or
No,
asking
I
for it
want
to be
a
built?"
building like that erected here in the city.
I imagine we could probably find room for that. I'll let our architects know. Perhaps we can make something like this happen. Not sure how many followers it will attract, but be happy to add to our fine city. That will certainly take more than a few days, though.
Yeah, however long it does. It's good.
Wonderful.
You know, just a vegetarian option for the meal would be plenty. Thank you.
Always. We have, well, used to have plenty of farmland outside the walls that harvested very well, so I imagine that will return in time as well.
So not tonight.
You've been eating,
Oh, okay.
and there have been lots of fruits and veggies.
Okay.
Glutton. You've been eating.
Been eating. Yes, there were plenty of fresh fruits and veggies found around.
Okay.
Much of which you gather was probably brought by Neverwinter.
Gotcha.
So it tastes a little preserved because it's been on a ship for like a week or two, but it was there.
What do I wish for? Well, two things come to mind actually. Mainly some furnishings for my old home. Rather, my father's home, per se. Something to make it feel like my own again. Just a couple of additions, mainly a furnace or a forge, per se. And perhaps a stable in case a certain centaur wishes to stay there for some time. Since I know how much she loves the outdoors.
Yeah, I'd be more than happy to help with that.
That would pay handsomely for any labor costs, per se.
Oh, not at all. All labor amongst the city will be covered by the kingdom. We have plenty of stores of gold and platinum, thankfully still. We'll make sure everyone is compensated more than fairly.
Secondly, if possible, I may need to speak with Lord Neverember about this as well, but perhaps some specialists, per se, those more so understanding of farming and of combat to assist the goblins in their rebuilding of their own. Preferably those with a strong ability for patience and overall good-hearted intentions.
Certainly. I will see that it's done.
Wonderful. I may be spending the first few days here resting after my travels, but after that I will be spending my days exploring as best I can and assisting in the rebuilding as best I can.
Well, we greatly appreciate that. Please don't feel the need. There will be plenty of time to build. There will be many months worth, and the first step is a bunch of cleaning. And I should probably make you aware. I sounded like most of your party was accomplishing things to the north, and as you know, it's a couple of weeks of travel should you wish to return to Neverwinter, but I know that King Neverember is planning on leaving in 2 days' time, and he has offered you a place on his ship. He will stop at any port on the way back north, should you wish to join him. But that is up to you and your party, whatever you wish to do. I, however, have much cleaning to do, and I guess a ceremony of mourning for the king to put together. But beyond that, Does your party require any... Do you have any need of money or supplies to continue your journey? We're happy to give you some money to help whatever your future endeavors are, if needed. You're welcome to take as much food and provisions as you'd like on your way out as well. We should have plenty, given the stores that Neverwinter brought with them.
I appreciate that. We'll keep this in mind. Now I think, after a belly full of food and wine, much rest is in order.
Wonderful. Well, you and your friends are welcome to any of the rooms or accommodations within the wings of the palace, or any empty house. It sounds like you found the house of your father, so you're welcome to stay there if you wish. But I have had many of the quarters here in the palace have been tidied up and given bedding, should any of you wish to remain there. Then she looks at Lalia, and there's plenty of stables on the docks.
Fantastic.
Well, enjoy your evening. I'll be off. She stands and kind of meanders her way around to some of the other tables and has some chats, side conversations with other civilians and people around this area. For the rest of you, is there anything you wanted to talk about or accomplish over dinner or this evening?
No. I'll just give it a night.
Yeah.
Best not to ruin the moment with business talk.
I'm back. Sorry, that was an emergency bathroom.
You're good. Any other evening conversations?
Not for Aiden.
Alright then. Well, you all can find your ways to whatever appropriated living space you would like to utilize for the night's rest. Any more specific you guys want to go, or anything you want to do before heading to bed? Or do we want to long rest and reconvene?
I would say long rest and reconvene.
I would say... Would I have been able to get any furnishings done in the time today, or would that have to happen tomorrow?
You can get some basics, like
Yeah,
a
just
bed,
like
table, and chair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to start.
Yep.
Something with something decent quality. He has every intention to make this home his own.
Yeah, you can see that many of the nobles' houses have been emptied, and their possessions and things are being given to anyone who needs them. So you could probably pick up a fancy bed and table and chair.
Yeah, not fancy. Simple, but what's the word? Simple but comfortable.
Yep.
That's what he's used to.
Certainly.
Lalia will seek out a stable, preferably a warm one, albeit still very outside.
Yep. Yeah, you find that the docks are, even though it's later in the day, they are still very busy, and you see that the area is warm just from use, and there are plenty of fires lit and things going on in this area.
and she settles in for the night. This time she grabs her amulet as though she wants to talk to Scarrett, but she second guesses herself and sets it aside, and then once again pulls out the little Lalia doll and the flower and sleeps fitfully, but sleeps.
You got it. Well, sleep eventually overcomes you all as you pass into the dream world, all still pretty exhausted, I'm assuming. Make
Some
your way.
of us, literally.
Yeah. Make your way to the next day. That will change. Aiden, you now have a -2 instead of a -3 to those skills that are still negative.
And Lalia can hit you for one more stat to fix if you would like. She will offer.
Yeah, we're gonna go with wisdom on this one.
You got it.
And as you guys awaken the next morning, you see that the town is still busy, still bustling. You see that there's plenty of people making their way around. Music has returned to the square. You hear commotion and ruckus everywhere. As cleaning has begun. You see people building pyres of broken and discarded things that are no longer good. You see buckets of water being moved around to clean surfaces, things being tossed out of houses that aren't wanted anymore. Just a general air of cleaning, reconstructing simple things right now. It's going to take a little while, but you see most of the town is bustling and getting to work. As you guys convene, it doesn't take too long for you to find each other, which also means it doesn't take too long for somebody else to find you. And you are approached in the morning by King Neverwinter, who at this point has taken off his warrior garb and is wearing very nice but very plain robes, just kind of a day attire. You see that he has a few guards accompanying him as he flags down your group. Oh, good morning. You have a few minutes?
Certainly, Lord Neverember. What can we do for you?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I wanted to make sure that the Queen passed along my invitation, should you wish to have a quicker trip back
You
to the
guys were
north.
having a wedding?
Oh, God.
No. I'm pretty sure my wife would be against that.
Oh, is that frowned upon? And
Generally, we're monogamous.
that's a big word.
Yes.
Alright. Must ask Jennifer what that one means.
It means that they are stuck to one true loved one, unless both agree to break such a vow. In simple terms, I suppose.
Huh.
I know today.
Yes, but thought I would make sure that it was clear. I'll be taking the rest of today to give out commands, set up stations, make sure that we have a constant supply of income and outcome of help and supplies and troops and armaments and things to make sure the city gets back on its feet as quickly as possible. I know many of you adventurers have other business to attend to, so I wanted to make sure I gave you the opportunity, should you wish, to join us. I'm happy to take you all back to Neverwinter, or should you wish to return to Lelion, we can certainly make a port there. I know you have other business to attend to, and I have gotten a little bit of information to pass along to you all. I understand that you have been hunting and tracking this Lord Cryo, and that he was involved with your group in some way, shape, or form. I know not where he is now, but I have been told that somebody has information on him for you, and this letter was sent. It arrived this morning, rather magically or miraculously. I'm not sure what it means or who it's from, but it was addressed to you all, so I figured I would hand it over. And he holds out a little envelope.
Did he hand us an envelope?
Yep.
I will take it.
Cool. On the front, you just see all of your names. Bink, Zanzidar, Lalia, Aiden. And underneath it says, in regards to Cryo.
Saying the quiet part out loud on there. Goodness
Yep.
gracious.
So, well, it was delivered rather, I guess, discreetly. I don't know. It was the strangest thing. I was making my cot this morning, and it just appeared on my pillow. Not sure why they chose me, but I guess I'm a pretty easy one to find.
Seems like you're a good errand boy.
Well, I'm not bad at it. You know, I did my time. I wasn't always king. My father made me work quite a bit, so... But anyways, my offer stands. We'll be leaving tomorrow afternoon. Should you need a ride or wish to accompany me back, just let me know before then. Beyond that, I hope you have a wonderful day. I will be seeing you around. As he kind of looks over and sees a group of soldiers and like holds up his hand to stop them and starts walking that way. But you have a letter addressed to you all in your hand. It is a sealed envelope.
Going to read it.
Okay. You unseal it. It's a basic wax seal. It doesn't have like a stamp or anything on it. It's just a dollop of wax with a flat seal. As you open it and you pull out the card inside, there's no words. There's just a symbol. It is a symbol you may recognize. But if any of you are looking over his shoulder,
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Not subtly either.
I would say, Zan, you pick this up immediately. The rest of you, it takes a few seconds. You just see, it's a white, like manila, old-fashioned piece of paper. It's very thick, almost cardstock thick, with crispy edges. And right in the middle, you see a platinum scaled eye. And Zan, you recognize immediately that this is the calling card of the Scaly Eyes.
Oh, okay.
It strikes you as odd at first, because this is generally regarded in the order of the Scaly Eyes. If you were to receive one of these cards, it means that you are to return to home base when able. It's not an emergency call, but it means that information has been gathered for you. And it's especially pleasing to you because it's only ever given out to field agents, which means you've never received one before.
Ooh, okay.
But the rest of you take a minute to realize you think you know what this symbol is?
It's a scaly eye. Oh! Why is this eye wrapped in scales? What could it be?
Let's call back to home base,
Oh.
if we're available.
And home base is that place we found you, yeah? Way
I
back
believe
when?
so.
Yep, to the best of your knowledge, it means return to the mother worm. When available. No rush. It's not. You know that there are specific meanings behind the collar of the symbol, and this symbol is low to mid priority. It's not emergency. It's not rush status. Just a hey, when you get a chance, you should swing by.
I suppose we'll make this on our to-do list, but for now, let's see what the city has to offer for today.
Here we go. So, anything particular that you would like to do around town? You need to toss some things out that you could work on.
Aiden personally would be trying to get furnishings and what's the word I'm looking for? Additions added to his home for what I described yesterday. On top of that, he would also be checking in on the goblins, seeing how they're faring in their new humble abode, per se.
I will also give you a friendly reminder that you have an unidentified orb, an unopened platinum chest in your inventory.
Oh, that's locked right now.
Yep. Yeah, you have the shiny orb that you got out of the second angel room and the chest.
On my person?
Yep. You took them all.
Okay,
That's why I was reminding you.
I guess I would also make some time in privacy to take a look at both. Well, actually, I know about the chest, but I guess take a look at the orb.
Okay. So I can go through those. It wouldn't take you too long. You recognize that the chest is magically locked. And not having a whole ability to control your magic necessarily, you are unable to open it yourself. However, the orb you are able to identify after a while. It is an orb of teleportation.
Oh.
You can use it once a day to teleport yourself and up to 10 other creatures that are willing, that are all holding hands, so kind of like plane shift, to a location that that this orb has been attuned to. And currently it is attuned to the birthing chamber where you found it, but you can spend 8 hours reattuning it to a new location.
Okay.
Do locations stack, or is it just
It's just one location.
one location? Got it.
Yeah, when you put in a new location, it removes the old one.
Gotcha.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. But I won't attune to it elsewhere for now. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. I guess I would also try to find if, by the off chance that Nettie has somehow managed to already set up shop here. 'Cause that all works real fast.
Yeah. Looking around town, there's no Nettie. There are a couple item shops that have like some magical potions and things like that, that have some arcane proprietors or owners, but nothing as substantial as Nettie's at this point. You gather it's probably going to take some time for anything valuable to come back into the city.
How many shops would you say are around? Just give me a rough estimate.
Like all shops of all kinds, or just shops that have magical things?
All shops of all kinds.
60 or 70.
Wow.
There's a bunch of little tiny stands all around of people that have found things, people that have brought things.
Give me 1 moment to make a calculation. I'll say 70.
Mhm.
We'll round up and say 70.
see almost pretty much all of them are Aralanian individuals that are selling something, whether it's cupcakes or some health potions they made last night, or there's a couple stands of people that have claimed things from noble houses and they're selling them dirt cheap to other people.
Okay. I'm gonna boost the economy here. So if you're saying there's 70 shops in the city, each one of them is going to get an investment of 1,000 gold pieces, which will equate to 7,000 platinum pieces.
You got it.
Woo.
Every single one of them is as overjoyed as the next. You get many thank yous and asking who you are, and lots of very happy people. And you see that they begin to spread it around, even, buying things from each other or going in and together to get larger things. Seems to be moving.
Cool. Then now to go check on the goblins.
Yep. They seem to be equating quite nicely. They have taken the time to rearrange the rooms in this house. They have picked up a few pieces of furniture from some of the other noble houses, and it looks like they have started cordoning off bedrooms and things of that nature. They are busy at the moment. It looks like digging a basement.
Naturally.
Good to hear. I will also, I guess, pay a little extra money to have some food transported to them, since they can't farm anything for now.
Sure. You got it. Let me see. Courage kind of runs up to you and says, "Hey, can you tell the horse lady to come give us names now?"
Aiden's gonna send over this sending stone. Lolly, what sounds to you like a very teasing tone.
Did I remember to get my sending stone back from the kobolds?
Yeah.
Okay. What is it now, Aiden?
I believe you forgot to give some goblins some names.
I haven't forgotten. I don't know where they are. I've been hoofing it all over this city. Where did you stick them?
Just head
I
towards
just
the
started
east.
knocking on doors, and people were like, "No, there are no
Alright.
goblins here. Where am I
Alright.
supposed to go?"
Alright. Calm your sass. It's too early in the morning for this. Do you
the
know
one who
where east
started
is?
it.
That wasn't any sass. What are you talking about?
All right, give me
You know-
directions.
East. You head far enough east, you'll find yourself in a district with a lot of very fancy looking houses. I will be standing outside of one of them.
All right. I will head east from wherever I am.
It doesn't take you too long once you enter the fourth section.
Right.
It's very open. You can see Aiden standing outside of a large three-story split level house.
All right, I'm here.
Alright, start giving them some names.
You got it. All right, fellas, line up. We're going to do this in an orderly fashion.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
How many of them are there?
We'll say 12
12. Okay.
that don't have names.
All right. Lalia will stand and request they form a line,
Okay.
and then she's gonna pull her copy of Jomio and Ruliet out of her bag.
You got it.
Look at the first one. All right, friend. Tell me about yourself.
I'm a goblin.
Any particular interests or
Feet.
feet?
I want to be a doctor of feet.
A doctor of feet.
That way I can touch them all day.
Insight check.
Sure.
God, that sounds so
Natural 20.
concerning.
He's kind of fucking with you.
Oh, okay. Alright, friend. Well, you know what? I think you should go by Vinbolio.
Oh, why's that? Was he a jokester like me?
You know, I think he's supposed to be a very nice guy.
Oh,
And you seem friendly.
yeah, usually.
Alright.
I think we found his name, didn't we?
What?
If he likes to make jokes, call him Joker.
Oh, do you want to name them? I got other shit I could be doing. I could just hand this over to you right now. If
You
you're
said I'm
better
the
at
one with-
doing the names.
You said I'm the one with the sass today. Goodness gracious.
You see the goblin kind of steps up. No, that's all right. I will take them both.
Which one's going first?
I like the V one.
Alright, so it's Vinbolio Joker.
You got it. Anybody know how to
Hey.
spell?
Come here, Vinbolio. Don't tell anyone else you got two names, they'll get jealous.
Okay, doggy.
Alright.
He's totally gonna tell them that he has two names.
Yeah, well, you know, they gotta fight about something.
I'll just tell him it's hyphegominated.
I figure, man. Don't hurt yourself. Alright.
How pronounce a big word?
You see him go bounding off back into the house. My name's Vinbolio!
Alright, who's next?
See, an older female goblin steps up. Says, I guess I'll go.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
Tell us about yourself.
I cook.
Apparently, he's helping with the naming, so you cook?
Yep.
Oh, you know what? I don't think I need the book for you. What if we call you Cookie?
Oh, perfect.
Wonderful. No arguments, nothing. You're my new favorite.
No,
Don't have courage.
Okay. I haven't made cookies in a long time, but I got a nice oven in there now. And let me tell you, back when I was younger, my mama used to make them
Next.
cook. I wasn't done talking.
Wally just kind of shovels
I was
her
interested in
over
hearing
in
the
front.
story.
She just
like-
keeps muttering her story.
But no, she puts her in front of Aiden. Here, you talk to her.
And my mom made these cookies that they were super sweet, and they had like 4 different type of chocolates in them, and then she put like caramel drizzle on top.
Wow, I didn't realize there were that many types of chocolate.
So yeah, let me tell you about all these other cookies, and she will listen as long as you want, and she will just keep describing different cookies until you die.
God damn it.
Have fun. All right, next.
Aiden's giving you the hard steak. You're being
She
extra
told you.
sassy. Aiden's just giving you the like, you're getting
She
extra
told
sassy
you.
today. I ain't having it.
You see a little bit older goblin, male this time, kind of step up. He says, it's my turn.
Indeed, friend. Tell me about yourself.
Well, I like cookies.
Oh dear.
Well, Cookie's kind of, well, I guess that's her name now, right?
Yes, that's yeah.
She's my mate.
Oh well, then you know what? Well, no, that might get confusing. She's like flipping through her book, like, well, we can't call you Jomio because then who would rule yet be? I mean, listen. You know what? What if we were to call you? Would milk be weird?
I don't know what that is, but sure.
You don't know what milk is?
Not really.
All right. Well, you need to go find someone who sells milk, and next time Cookies makes cookies, you need to dip her cookie in the milk. That sounds.
I need to dip Cookie in milk? Well, that sounds like a whole lot of adventure for one evening. I'm down.
All right, milk. Sounds great.
Hey, Cookie, come get dipped by milk. Oh!
Don't interrupt her right now. She's telling Aiden about her cookies.
Oh, don't worry. She'll just keep going.
All right. Okay, next. This is not so bad, Lolly is thinking.
You see a younger female goblin come up to you this time.
Mhm.
My turn.
All right. Hello, friend. Tell me about yourself.
I'm a goblin.
I can see that.
I did a lot of the cleaning. Didn't really like it, but
Well, what do you like?
I don't know. Not cleaning?
All right. I think we should call you I can't think of a way to transpose these letters. So we're going Rosalind. How does Rosalind sound?
It kind of sounds like rose. Isn't that a flower?
It is a flower.
Cool.
Do you want to go by flower, Rose, or Rosalind?
What?
Rosalind it is. Good job.
All right.
Nice to meet you, Rosalind.
You too. I'm gonna go smell stuff.
All right. We're on 4 of 12, so we can keep going. Or
No.
okay.
That's fine. Spend the next hour or so, at least, naming the rest of these goblins.
All right.
The whole time, Cookie is telling Aiden about different types of cookies that her mom made.
After the last goblin has been named, I will walk over to Aiden and Cookie and say, Cookie, you must be tired.
What?
You've got everybody else is talking. You need to go find out other people's names. They all got names, so you should go learn them.
They all got names now?
They do.
I need a nap.
Oh, that sounds wonderful too.
She lays down. She's gone.
All right. Enjoy. Everybody's got a name, right?
Milk kind of picks up Cookie. I got her. Starts dragging her inside.
Aiden just looked like he wants to drop you, Lolly.
Oh, don't be so grumpy. It's a happy day.
Aiden decides he's gonna try to tip Lolly over.
All right. What? Are you pushing on her?
Yep.
Okay.
Contested athletics, DM.
Contested athletics.
Yeah,
All right.
contested athletics.
Oh, that was almost a natural 20. That was so close.
Give me a second for Beyond to work with me. Ooh, I might need to refresh because I am lagging. Ooh, okay.
Ouch.
Yep. We're very quickly unbalanced.
Whoa! What the fuck, Aiden? Sprawled across the floor. It's a good thing Milk moved Cookie, otherwise we'd have smooshed cookies. What the... Jesus Christ, warn a person.
Well, the idea was that you're not supposed to be warned, otherwise it'd be harder for me to shove you.
That's true.
Aiden will help her back up. Hey, watch the hooves! Jesus Christ!
Oh, now you want to watch out for the hooves. I see how it is.
Blah blah blah. Lord.
Alright, anybody else need me here?
I will say, Lalia, make a perception check.
Okay.
Now that you have been here for a little while.
16.
Okay. You do feel an energy coming from Aiden.
Oh.
Not him necessarily, but something in his possession is giving off some sort of like divine blip. You're not actively using your divine sense,
Right.
but you always kind of passively have it,
Right.
and you're picking up something on him that you hadn't seen before. It's weird.
I'll use an actual divine sense.
Mm-hmm.
See if what it pings for me.
Sure. You see a bit of, celestial energy coming from an item in his possession.
Oh, did you pick up something new there, Aiden?
What do you mean?
That thing there, like kind of. Can I see it, or is it just like there's something on him that's
Something
new?
on him. You're not 100% sure what it is, but
Okay.
you know it's stored in a bag or a pouch or something.
You've got something in your pocket or your bag. It's giving off like a celestial energy. I don't usually see that from you. Did you got something new?
Today, Aiden's gonna start ruffling through his stuff. Does his sword throw off that vibe or what?
Nope. As you kind of ruffle through your things, Lavia, you're able to pick up when he grabs it.
Mhm.
It kind of leaves a mark on his hand, and you see that it was in fact the platinum chest.
What's that box there? The platinum thing.
Oh, this chest. Still haven't managed to figure that one out yet. It seems to be locked by magic rather than actual physical lock.
You want me to see if I can take a stab at it? Not literally. Don't worry. I won't stab it.
I guess I would ask you not to stab it, but sure, knock yourself out. Don't literally knock yourself out.
Well, if you don't push me, we'll have much better luck with that. All right. So I'll take it and inspect it and see what I can discern.
Okay. It doesn't take you too long, but you also recognize that this box is sealed magically, though it's sealed with divine magic.
Oh, okay.
So you gather that a touch of divinity could open it.
Oh. All right. So I will try. I'm gonna try to heal the box. I'm gonna try to lay on hands and just boop one little hit point into the box.
You hear a series of clicks and snaps, and you see that the clasp on the front of the box kind of pops open. You see the hinge squeak back just a little bit. Seems like it's open.
Well, that's not so bad. It just had a boo boo. All right, and I'll open the box.
You see 2 large books.
Ah, more reading. All right, here you hold the box, and I'll pull the books out.
Okay. You see one of the books is named The Tome of the Bards.
All right.
The other is a manual of healing.
Huh.
You could spend some time to figure out a little bit more about them if you'd like, but that's what they are titled.
I'll share that with Aiden at least. This one is the Tome of the Bards. This one is some kind of instruction book on healing. Interesting.
Ah.
The bard has been summoned.
What?
What?
Oh, Bink! Oh, I didn't see you there. No. Do you know where Bink is?
Does Bink know where Bink is?
Hello,
I have no
Bink.
idea where I am. That's a good question.
What would Bink have been doing this morning?
You know, I'm eating bacon, drinking some chunky apple juice. After that, I have no idea. Let's just say I was just playing a little bit for the townspeople, keeping the spirits up from last night.
Sure. So you guys would know where Bink is.
Okay. So in that case, I'll send to Zanzidar, if that's cool, and say, "Hey Zan, Aiden found books," which sounds way more lame
Well,
than it
books,
actually
that's
is.
so interesting.
Right. But I think that maybe you'll be interested. Just come meet us with Bink in the square. Follow the music.
Okay.
I mean, unless you don't want it.
Peter's getting more on beat with his tambourine skills.
Yeah, I guess we could check in on Zan.
Yeah,
What would you have done after the letter was delivered and people began to split off?
So, the piece of wood I'm still carrying around from Polychronos's altar or whatever. I would be looking for someone who could do woodworking because I want to create the wand or a rod or whatnot. And then I'm going to use that as a tuning fork for this plane of existence.
Ooh, sure. It wouldn't take you long to find somebody. Plenty of crafters, people set up around squares, one of the small shops. Any of them would be willing to do it for like a gold piece. It would just take them a couple hours.
Oh, good. Well, if that's the case, then I'll just drop it off here and go grab them, and I'll be back later on today.
Yeah, they agree, and you see they just begin whittling.
Nice.
and I will go grab Bink wherever the music takes me.
Alright. So you all make your way over to Bink's stage.
Are you coming, Aiden?
Full on interrupting his
Sure.
concert and just grab him with vortex warp.
There you go. This way.
No.
Alright. So Aiden, were you following? I missed that.
I was.
Well, I shouldn't assume. Did you want one of these books?
I may have some magical abilities, Lalia, that does not mean I can use them in great extent.
Well, not with that attitude. All right, let's go.
I'll leave the healing to you since you're so specialized in it, Miss Paladin.
Yes, I can never forget that. Alrighty. So when we all get together.
Yep.
Okay. Remember that chest Aiden found? Or did we know Aiden found it? Anyway, Aiden found the chest. I can't remember. It's too long ago. And there were books inside. I know, everybody, woo! Oh, but Bink, this one I think is for you. It says something about bards.
I just take it and I just like scramble through the pages.
Okay. It's a book about barding. You're not really sure how it works yet. You know it's magical. You could spend some time with it if you wanted to figure it out, or if somebody had identify.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Then I'll take the other one.
I'm not reading any of these letters.
You may have to use your comprehend languages there.
I use. Wait, is it a language I understand?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna read it.
Okay.
I'm just gonna decipher it.
Okay.
This is Bink's little challenge.
I'll take the manual of healing and then go. So Zanzidar, I've seen that you've been working on some healing magics, right? You do a little dabbling in the curing of the wounds and the healing words and stuff, yeah?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh well, then I will just keep this book for myself.
No, give it.
Oh no, you said
Yo,
you-
give it here. Yo, I want it.
Alright, I'll hold it out to Zanzidar.
Yo.
Zanzidar, you hold a book in your hand called the Manual of Healing. You know it's magical. You're unsure what it does or how it works yet. But you could spend some time with it, or if you had identify.
Yeah, I'll keep it on my person. If I have time between this meeting with the group and before my rod gets done, I will take a look at it.
Absolutely. So you've passed
Also,
out
I
the
know
books.
everyone was very worried, but all the goblins have names now. Aiden was no help.
Do you want me to
Since
charge you
we're
on the thing?
exchanging
Because I...
books,
Okay.
Here, you can have this book, Aiden, and I'll hand him the one with the ancient dragon language in there.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. Gonna have fun trying to figure this one out later.
Now we all have books. We could all just sit down and read for...
Book club.
Did Chris say you had to go pee? Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Apologies, I had to pee.
It
So,
happens.
Alright. So you all have distributed the books. Had some time together.
Sharing is caring.
Right.
Anything particular you guys would like to do next, or are you just kind of hanging out for a bit?
Yes, just hanging out, trying to decipher the book, unless we're trying to move on somewhere else right now.
Okay.
Other than that, I mean, I guess I'll just try to read the book, see what's in it.
Okay.
where are we currently? Are we in the square?
Yeah, you're in the business district. You'd probably be in one of these areas here.
Okay.
Give you some time as you guys kind of look over your books. Bink, the book in your possession, the Tome of the Bards, is a attribute book. It will take you 12 hours to read, and you must do so within, like once you start, if you do all 12 hours of reading within a 3-day period, your charisma score will increase by 2 to a maximum of 20.
God damn.
Ooh.
Okay, guys. Well, you know what I'm doing? Sitting on the back of Peter, let him do all the walking. I'm just gonna be reading.
And similarly, the tome or the manual of healing works in the very same way. You need to spend 12 hours reading over a 3-day period, and it will increase your wisdom by 2 to a maximum of 20.
Oh, okay.
So, that is what you have found within that chest. The chest itself is also worth probably about 600 gold pieces because it's coated in platinum.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So if you wanted to mark that, you certainly could. Or you could just, set it on the ground and walk away. Somebody will realize it.
Right.
Like, whoa!
Look at this chest. Why did you say? What the hell?
What about the Book of the Ancient, or what's, I guess, written in Ancient Draconian? Do I need to spend some, real time trying to decipher it?
Oh, it is a translation book.
Oh.
It is literally a translation book. It is a Rosetta Stone for Ancient Draconian.
Nice.
Ah.
Aiden's over here reading the dictionary.
For above table reference, the figuring out the word for your key was a DC 30 if you did not have that book. If you had that book, there was no check.
Oh yeah, that was the one where we stacked as much as we could too. It was like guidance, and Aiden had a superiority die you could use, and we had inspiration. Yeah,
Yep.
That was intense.
My sword is written in Ancient Draconian, isn't it? There's some Ancient Draconian writing on it.
There's Ancient Draconian runes, yes.
Can I read what the runes say?
You would gather that they're not really words or sentences. They're more just magical symbols or depictions. They're just not symbols that are used in present day magic.
Okay. Alright. I have the dictionary for Ancient Draconian.
Pretty much.
Nerd. No. Nerd alert.
At least I can speak Draconic, unlike some of us.
Well, Lalia says, "What do you mean in Draconic?" to Aiden.
Aiden says back in ancient Draconian. Don't worry about it.
I will say though, Lalia, you watch as Aiden flips through the dictionary
Right,
for
to
about
find the words.
40 seconds.
Take your time. I'm sure the insult is going to be great. I've got time.
Oh god.
If we are spending some time just investigating stuff, Lalia will also take a look at her needle.
Yep.
Does it look like something she can administer herself?
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as she's alright.
No, you have to have somebody else stab you.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean...
you would recognize that you would need to, very much like a regular needle, you would have to hold it to yourself or to the area that you would like the tattoo to appear for a period of time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, she's gonna go find a semi-private place to do so.
Sure.
Or maybe even fully private, considering the location.
Oh. Yeah. Easy enough.
I wonder if you put it on your head, do the wings sprout like ears?
Right.
A bit like Dumbo.
I mean, she's already going to be bottom heavy with all 4 horse legs while they're on her back. So could you imagine she's dangling in the air by these wings?
I mean, you could put it on your horseback.
That's true. That's a good point. She's going to aim for like where Pegasi would have wings, kind of in that.
True.
Her second rib cage.
You got it. And you can accomplish that. And it will have to be a custom item, but it gives you access to the fly spell 3 times a day.
Okay, and it's non-concentration, and I believe the fly spell is 60 feet. Is that how
Yeah, this
fast you
one.
want me to be?
Yeah.
Because I think the boots was everybody's walk. It was like 30 feet. Fly itself is 60.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah, this is the fly spell.
Okay.
So it can be dispelled. It can be counterspelled.
Gotcha.
There you have it. You can spend as little or as much of the day as you want gathering around town. Aiden, for a very paltry sum, you're able to get whatever furnishings you want for your house. You connect with the queen, and she has already provided a couple of floor plans for upgrades and taking care of making sure your home is designed how you would like it to be for the next time you return. We can go over those later if you would like to design the house a little bit. But I'd say probably, like, with all the discount furniture that's being tossed around the market, like 10 gold. But given your investment, you don't have to really take it out of your inventory at this point. Yeah. See, there's just a lot of hustle and bustle around the city. Plenty of celebration. Drinks at the bar are flowing free. You see that the kingdom has covered the cost of alcohol for the next week.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you gather the queen understands that whatever money she puts in is probably going to come back anyways, so she's just letting it go. Okay. Is there anything else you guys would like to accomplish throughout this day?
I would like to spend a set number of hours reading from the dictionary.
Okay.
Trying to sort of, I guess, learn the language.
Mm-hmm.
What time would you say it is right now?
It's like afternoon. It's probably like 2-3 o'clock.
2 to 3 o'clock. Okay. I'm gonna go for 7 hours with an inclusion of a break for dinner.
Mm-hmm. Alright, I'll take you through the evening. Bank and Zan, if you wanted to read for that amount of time, you could also probably accomplish about 6 or 7 hours.
I guess I'll read Jomio and Ruliet. I'm probably not done with it yet, so.
You get through half of Act 1 because it's pretty dry.
I thought they already finished Act 1.
Oh, maybe Act 2.
Act 2.
Half of Act 2.
What are these crazy kids doing?
So, would I start reading before I got my tuning fork back?
That's up to you, but you can go and collect that. It would... after your meeting, after figuring out what the book was, you probably would have had about an hour at least left until he was done. So you could do what you want with that hour, but then you could go collect it.
After I collect it, I'm gonna tell the group, don't leave the city for days.
You were breaking up. What'd you say?
I'm gonna tell the group not to leave the city for a few days.
That won't be an issue. We'll be here for at least a week.
And I'm going to plane shift myself to Pier's throne room.
Oh,
Okay.
That's where I will begin my studying of the book.
Okay. Well, just want to make sure everybody is cool with that decision, because that means you're going to have to walk back north, and that's at least a week through dangerous territory.
How do you mean?
You get a ship right now, or you got to find your own way back north, and it's like a week of travel.
through uncharted territory for us, I'm assuming.
Correct.
Yeah, because we went underground.
You went underground.
We could go back through the caves. We might run into the kobolds.
Just want to make
The
sure.
call of adventure.
Right, but if the tuning fork is attuned to this plane of existence, and I have 2 tuning forks, one to Tears and one to the kingdom of Aralani, right?
That tuning fork goes to this plane of existence. It doesn't guarantee you Aralani.
My orb, on the other hand, guarantees transfer to Aralani if I decide I want it placed here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Tears fork is specifically that chamber because it was its own dimension. Your material plane tuning fork doesn't guarantee you get to the spot you ask. There's a really good chance, but it does not guarantee Aralani. But the point that I'm trying to make is if you guys wait a few days, your ship to the north is gone. And you're going to have to find your own way back to Lelion, Neverwinter, or wherever you want to go next. Just want to make sure you all have that understanding before you split the party and have to figure that out.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. We have a teleport orb. Wait, we
That
do,
can
right?
get you to
Yeah,
Aralani.
but
Yeah.
it's going to be attuned to here, so if I ever use it, it's going to send us back here, not to some random place of my choosing.
Random place, here we go!
Do we... so, Zan wants to read in Tyr's chamber, which was the reason for staying in Aralani for a few days.
Mhm.
What's Aiden's motivation, just so I understand?
To assist in rebuilding, as well as more or less making this place feel more like the home he once had in the past.
And I'm not saying you can't split. Because obviously we're going into potentially a downtime type area. So if somebody wanted to take the ship and leave everybody else here, I'm not going to stop you. But just making sure everybody knows what's going on going forward.
Yeah. So are we thinking Aralani is going to be new home base?
Maybe not new home base, but at least like a. I guess if we were saying Lilian is still a home base, Aralani would be a safe house.
Okay. Yeah. I'm cool if the party wants to stick in Aralani, but Lalia might take the ship if you're okay with this party splitting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys have got sending stones. You can talk to each other.
Yeah. And she's got wind walk, so within reason she could get back with potentially slightly less danger if she needed to meet up with you guys down here.
All right.
So here's my question. The reason you brought up the issue with splitting the party was just because of the ship, right?
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that everybody understood that if you do not take this ship to the north, you have to find your own way there. Which you guys are geniuses. You can, I'm sure, come up with things. But worst case scenario, you gotta walk your happy asses back to Fandolin, which is the closest town to the north, which is about a 2-week journey through places you have never been, which could mean a lot of encounters.
Right, but if I knew
Or we can just slap my boat down and we can just ride our way there. I'm just kidding.
the new tuning fork is able to be used for any destination on the material plane of existence, right?
Yep.
As long as I've been there.
Yep.
Okay.
And you don't fuck it up.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, we can use the boat, guys. It could be like a motorboat, I think.
So if I do take the boat, am I potentially, or the ship, not the boat, am I potentially going to be separated from the party for like a month then?
It depends on how long they want to stay down here, but I mean, you windwalking would only be a couple days. I'm just saying, worst case scenario, if you guys are walking by foot, or you might have to find a different ship.
Okay.
I'm just telling you, you've got one free ride north right now. But
Yeah.
do what you want with it.
So where is Lolly going on? To Neverwinter? Or
Lelion,
to Lelion? Okay.
No, they are.
potentially.
Give me 1 sec, I'll be right back.
Because I feel like at most it'd be 3 days away, right? Or 4. Because if I jump to Tears, jump back to Aralani, jump to Tears, and then jump back to Lelion with Aiden in tow, that's 4 days?
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, so theoretically, using your idea, if Lalia goes somewhere else, Zan can come back here. The next day, he can take all of you to Tyr's chamber for a day, and then jump you back to wherever Lalia is. So I was just laying out worst case to make sure everybody understood.
Yeah.
I would like the week to think about it.
Yeah.
The 2 weeks to
Okay.
think about it.
Mhm.
The real life 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and just call it there then.
Okay.
Give you guys a couple weeks to think about what you would like to do in this essentially downtime type zone. You don't have anything emergency going on, but I guess I'll kind of dial things back a little bit. I don't want anybody to not do something because of what I said, so there's probably going to be more ships to the north. You just might have to pay for passage instead of a free quick trip. Let's say that, because I don't want,
Okay.
I guess I wasn't thinking about you guys spending your downtime here. I was thinking about you spending your downtime in like Lelion or Neverwinter like you have in the past. So yeah, we'll say that. You've got some time to play with, because obviously you don't know where Cryo is. You have some breadcrumbs, you have some time to yourself to do what you guys wish to do. So just think about, over the next 2 weeks, what you would like to accomplish. If there's things that your character wants to go out and get done that they don't need the party for, or if there's something they do need the party for, bring that to the table so we can try to coordinate it next session. We'll let you guys kind of have some downtime for the first time in a little while.
Alrighty.
Cool.
Yep.
And we'll go ahead and call the stream there.